Yo, and welcome to the Shattered Throne, episode 21. I know I say this every week. I feel like that's like my opening. It's like, man, I can't believe we've made it this long, and it continues to happen. But every time we get ready to run this session, and I'm just so honored and thankful that we get to do this every week, and that this is one of the best parts of my week every week. And man, I'm just so thankful. Even if you haven't found this yet, thankful that you guys are watching this and enjoying it, and I'm thankful for our players every week. Really fun session today. Before I get too much into the recap, let me go ahead and introduce them because it may or may not be their last time playing. We'll find out after
Next
the
time on
events.
Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, of this. Go ahead and introduce yourself, players.
Hi, I'm Mojo, and I play Shonen Gold, a young human barbarian man.
I am Fritos. I play Raven Falcor, the half elf druid bartender.
I'm Taxtalion, and I'll be playing Tydox. He's the gnome artificer.
Hold on, let me roll for
Greedy loot
introduction.
goblin.
I got a 1.
So
Meow.
that is a good start. Let's get them out of the way before
Let's
we
get
really.
that out of the way.
Yeah,
Don't
get
you
those
ever
bad
touch
rolls
that
out.
dice again. Throw it out the window.
And last but certainly not least,
Me.
yeah,
That's me, baby.
I'm Zorpheus. I play the Jared guy. Hopefully for a little bit longer.
sometimes Jared plays you, and it's
Yes.
all a whole conundrum of things, you know.
I came in here with a plan, but I was just reading the text on one of my spells and I realized it won't work. So now I have no plan.
Hey.
I didn't read
Good
the
job,
fine
Raven
print,
plan.
so
reads the fine print right before he casts the spell. He pulls out his spell book and he's like, "Oh, actually, yeah, that won't work. Sorry, guys."
I didn't read the terms and conditions.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And my name is Matty Ice, and I get to be the dungeon master of this a wonderful, amazing group. Um, and you're probably wondering, okay, if you didn't watch the last episode, you're probably wondering, hey, what the heck's going on? Why are they about to die? Well, let's get into it. They finally arrived at Heaven's Ascent, the island town that is um, similar to Athens or Greek mythology, and this island city that is unbelievably empty and overrun and feels abandoned. Um, but slowly they realize what has transcribed or happened is um, their neighboring kingdom, their rivals, Mycelium, has come in the midst of attacking Andrial. Were distracted. Um, Mycelium did a counterplay to attack Heaven's
Is there
Ascent.
seagulls? What the fuck is that noise?
It was
I
Oh,
don't
hear
know.
that? Caw, caw,
Yeah,
we
I
got some
hear
fucking
it.
seagulls.
It's hell. Is what's happening.
They're vultures ready to
They're
pick our bodies
vultures.
clean
They're gonna
after we
feast.
fucking fail. It's great.
Yeah.
I mean, freaking
Um,
fail if we haven't passed the couple minute mark.
I think we're past a minute, so don't worry, we're good. But
5 minutes.
anyways, we go in. They discover, do some little sleuthing and some investigation work, and kind of get to a crossroad. Go closer into the tower to see what's happened, or um, off to the right, um, in the Colosseum that's been broken down, and follow the trail of the presumably missing dragon. They arrive into a cave and see in a giant coliseum that leads into a battle cave that they notice the remains of the dragon, um, Khaleesix, who is the Willow Wyvern, the Jade Empress of the family of dragons. And as awe-inspiring as she was, she had been shot down by some sort of technology that could only be dreamed of, and that if the dwarves or the humans of mycelium have access to this technology could bear bad news for any sort of dragon, and that the eventual takeover of the kingdoms and the lands of Alexandria could be imminent. So, our party, after communicating with the Jade Empress and kind of uh, her having her own moment of, hey, I'm here to die, and my time is no longer now, but the future of this next generation is what truly matters, allows Ert and the new wonderful dragon Morrow to eat of her flesh to gain power, wisdom. Ert gains a new ability. Morrow gets bigger. And we get to see more of what happens. The party then goes to through a jungle and to the base of the mountain that holds the tower, Heaven's Ascent, and they get to it. And while there, they are greeted with a lot of the dead bodies of the people, the guards, and the people who were holding down Heaven's Ascent. Realize that mycelium has been the ones that attacked it, and they get there and man, do some crazy things that was maybe a bit dramatic from the DM, and I'll admit, maybe a bit rash, but hopefully we get to find out the consequences of this
We have
action,
women for that.
and we'll see what happens. I'm not blaming anybody. It's definitely on me as well too. So we've already settled all this, but uh, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a really really fun, exciting time. As they see a magic gem, they throw Moro to see to kind of collect it to kind of see what happens. He tips it, and it disrupts the magic that has been leaving Heaven's Ascent through the giant hole that the mycelium uh, kingdom created, and the tower begins to shake, and that's where we find our party now. The magic in this place, it's felt as if the power like flickers on and off, over and over and over. That the magic is still ish there, but certainly is fleeting out of a faster pace. The whole entirety of the tower begins to shake and quake. Um, that whatever that Jim was doing, although it was descending, um, was the key to the magic itself. The hourglasses begin to pour out even faster as they are a measurement of how much magic is left in this world, in this tower. Um, and if that wasn't bad enough, the party um, feels as if the magical artifact that they had spent so long trying to find and that was guaranteed has now gone missing as the orb no longer glows. Um, Players, what do you do?
I want to. So, wasn't there stairs that
Yep.
we like partially went up some of the stairs, right, to kind of get even height with them, and we had that whole
Yeah.
dialogue, and then we're like, all right, go Maro, and
Yeah.
okay,
So the stairs that you guys are on is more of an escalator type thing. Um, it moves as you move, and the magic in the thing goes. You recognize that it is now like sputtered and has like begun to like stop. You see that there's a manual overdrive in there, but it requires some sort of like physical. It's almost like a treadmill. Basically, imagine that. Like you would have to your base insight would be able to see that the only way to overpower that is to physically continue to get it to spin back up or down.
okay.
You guys are about I think we said like 50 or 60 feet up in the air.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll say
Well-
60 just to get even with the thing. It's about 100 feet up in the air. Is up to the next.
And where was the stone? Did you say because Moro grabbed it but didn't grab it?
Yeah, the crystal, the magic crystal is in the middle. Moro had tipped it out of line actually, so he hasn't actually collected it. He's still it's pretty big for him, um, but he has basically him just landing on it has actually just tipped it out of sync of the magic field. Imagine there was some sort of like Scotty beam me up type
Okay.
thing, and it had been centered in a place, and now he's kind of rocking back and forth on it um, in there.
So
It's also like probably like 45 feet away from you, centered into um, into the center of the.
it's like he knows the measurements of the things I wanted to use. It's like he's seen my character sheet. Mother.
Like he knows
Okay.
everything somehow.
Like he's
How?
fucking God. I don't know. It's crazy. Damn. Let me.
I mean,
Uh,
I guess my character. I want to do this in dialogue. I guess he can be. He can walk up to you, be like, "Do you need the escalade, the stairs? Are they still working?"
it doesn't appear that they are fully functional, but that gear down there it seems like it needs to be manually operated now if we continue to use these the escalator.
I have just the man for it, Jeffrey.
Oh.
Jeffrey appears. He gives you the classic bow. Excuse me, sir. Hello, I'm here. What is it that you need?
Jeffrey, we're quite the pickle this time. I don't know. We need your help with that mechanism over there. I don't know how it works.
You see he like bends down and gets close, and then he pops back up. You see him like bend extremely uncomfortably, like all the way there, and legs straight, as proper as he can, and then he pops back. His hair's perfectly aligned, and he looks at you, Jared, and he's like, "Ah, I see. The magic in this is no longer working. I got it." And then you see him just start running on the treadmill in any direction that you wish to command. You see that as he runs forward, it starts to build up speed, and then he says, "I can do this backwards or forwards, whatever you would like, sir."
So good at running. This is best thing. It's like what I have him do most of the time.
Sir, I would do it. I would do anything for you, sir.
That's my Jeffrey.
And you see him. He's revving up the treadmill. So whatever side you want him to go to, it's going to take him a second, but it starts to really unhinge from it and to lock back into manual drive. You see his legs also are just absolutely jacked out of his mind to kind of like get it to go. I don't know if you've ever like anybody who's like in fitness. Have you ever started a treadmill that's like not working? It's extremely hard. Get it up to like a very like high speed. You need like hard power. So you see him like revving it up basically. It's gonna take him a second, but he is good to go forwards or backwards. So up or down.
Well, the one I guess it'd be down. It's like Jeffrey, down. We need to get out of the cursed place.
There is still options up. I will tell you. I'm cool with you guys going down, but there are. I mean, you guys had come here to find some research and some other things that is still available potentially.
How
But you
quickly
would
is
have
this place
to be.
collapsing? Like, or is like.
I feel like we don't have that much time.
Yeah, how much time we got? What does the hourglass say?
It's hard to read. Go ahead and roll a base insight. Either one of you guys. Uh,
I ask the question. I get the inside bitches.
Yeah, go ahead.
What? Is that a 20? Oh, it is.
natural 20.
Yeah, nat 20.
Jesus.
You can read. You can read
What time is it?
hourglasses. I can't read hourglasses.
I will
That's a
say-
skill.
With even with a nat 20, it is hard to still read it because it's not like a
Cat bird.
sundial or like a like a clock in the conventional sense. But you do remember that because of when the gym does, it looks like it's pouring sand out. You would intuitively know that you have like 15 to 20 minutes left. So like, if it was pouring out before, it would have been like maybe like an hour of like time. You have now like speeded up 4 times basically.
So then Captain Ert,
It's there we go.
looking at this hourglass, noticing that everything is collapsing, coming down around him. What is he gonna do? What he says? He goes to the party and says, "Guys, look, I think we have only about 15 minutes before this place fully collapses on our heads. Either we gotta explore, get our stuff, and get out of here, or just get out of here." And he growls. Yeah.
Well, or growls. I can try to stabilize this crystal without hopefully destroying this whole thing on top of our heads. I think you said we're 60 feet away.
45 away from the crystal, 60 feet from the ground,
Oh,
40
okay.
feet from the second floor.
Raven, you still got any of that gree? Or are you all out?
No, I got a couple things of it still.
All right. Well,
2 doses.
Moro, you listen to Tardox and help him do whatever he needs to do.
You see him?
I'm gonna.
Moro's trying to like stabilize because the crystal's like shaking, so he's like trying to like
Mhm.
he's still like around it, but he's trying to like you ever see like a cat or like a dog like in something that's like on a boat and they're not really like they're trying to like stand up, but he can't because it's like moving. That's what Moro's doing. It's making kind of the situation a little bit worse, but it's definitely not helping the situation either.
Right.
Yeah, 14 minutes now.
Raven, I was
I know.
thinking if you have any of that gree left, maybe you can run down and maybe think of a way to catch us if we need to bail out somehow. Does that sound okay to you?
I think I could whip something up.
And then I'm gonna start running up. And maybe if anybody wants to risk it, they can run up with me. But the only thing I can read is Draconic, so I'm just gonna be grabbing dragon books unless somebody can come with me. So Show starts running upstairs, essentially.
You're in like a little platform. Jeffrey is the one that goes up or down because he's like on the treadmill.
Okay.
So it's more like imagine you're in like a basket, and the rail system is like in the middle of it is basically has like the treadmill type thing in the middle. So it's not like a staircase. It's more like a treadmill in a basket that like was self-propelling when you guys are moving like an Escalade, but it's like stairs that like wrap back and forth, if that makes sense.
Is
You
it
know, like
almost
an
like
Escalade, how it goes.
Like a gondola?
Yeah, imagine a gondola. You're in a gondola, but the gondola is like has like stair pieces that are like going in and out. It's like an Escalade, but only a segment of the Escalade is like there, and it's moving as you're moving. So it's as if effortlessly by magic, you guys are moving up this thing, but you're in like a basket to kind of keep you safe.
So is it possible for me to get down while they're
Yeah.
going up? Okay.
Yeah, you would have to basically jump, 60 feet, but
Oh, maybe instead of them, how much is it for me to jump to like the next floor up? I guess. How many feet do you think?
with your boots, you could make
Mhm.
it in one round basically.
Okay.
Your base movement would allow you to jump up there. You would still have to roll to see like how successfully you're able to
Mhm.
do it, but the ability to would be there, and the DC is lowered because you have the boots of springing. So
Okay. I'll
Uh,
try jumping up then versus rather going down.
Um,
Were you gonna say something, Ert?
yeah,
Yeah.
I have a question. So I know we
Mhm.
touched this crystal. This place started collapsing. Do we have any idea if like stabilizing this crystal is gonna stop anything?
with a nat 20, you would assume that if the crystal was aligned, basically, there's a good shot that it at least slow it down. But
But what?
He's
Thank you.
frozen.
But
Because he's
tune in next
frozen.
time on Shucks.
Oh, shucks. I have an idea, Mr. Krabs. I have an idea.
You have an idea? Okay.
You have an idea.
Tedax also has
the
an idea.
damage is inevitable.
I
Okay,
heard
so you're
none of
gonna
that.
you're gonna have to repeat everything because you froze at
You-
butt.
Yeah.
I know. Okay, so am I back fully or no?
Yeah,
You
you're
are.
back.
It sounds
I
like
think
you're
so.
back. I think we're back.
So
Back.
with the nat 20,
Nope.
And he's
Never
gone.
mind, we're not back.
With a nat 20.
you would
Cut.
assume.
There we go. Yep. You would
I-
assume.
I can assume when it pauses, I can kind of see it pause. You guys all stop. But you can assume with the nat 20, okay, that stabilizing the crystal would slow the process down, but the damage is um, irreversible, right? The tower is collapsing at this point, right? There's
Yep.
no stopping the tower from collapsing. However, you can slow the process down. It was collapsing regardless if you guys had moved the crystal or not, if that makes sense. So because the magic is deplete, whoever destroyed the hole in the tower to begin with caused it to start crashing. You guys just sped it up. Basically, what happened,
Okay.
and you can go back to slowing it down because again, the magic is leaving the area, and the crystal basically is holding the magic. In, it's like a time bomb.
Gotcha.
Okay.
It just started overcasting like right as we started playing D&D, and I'm just watching as this starts storming outside. I'm like, why?
The birds warned us.
It was like 112 degrees outside all day today.
How far
So,
away is the
Art had a
crystal
question.
from like the platform?
Like
That's
45.
about 45 feet.
Like
Yeah.
45 feet.
And Moro again is on top of it. Now he's chained to listen to Tydox because
So
show he is cool.
now,
So then
Was that
I
your
just want to say
question?
because
Go ahead.
well I know because Tac Pony or because you have
Tydox?
or Tydox, Tac Tydox has like
There you
an
go.
idea, but
I got a couple.
yeah.
We're just gonna keep throwing and see what
I know.
sticks, guys. It's gonna be great. So,
Uh,
but show
Look,
is
I
about
think-
to
oh yeah,
jump.
Show's about to like jump up there, jump on.
Would you guys like to see
Okay.
Show jump
And-
first?
No. I want Ert to finish his thought.
Okay.
And
I'm
then-
gonna look to Tydox and say, look, Tydox, look, I think if we stabilize this crystal, we might have a chance of slowing this down. If we, I know Jared has a little bit of water. I can freeze a little bit, make a small ice bridge, but I don't know if you have any other ideas. I can only cover about like 15, 20 feet.
Oh, yes, I do have a few ideas. But I think I work best with a little bit of mood music. So I think I'm gonna use Emboldening Bond because we flavored that to be speakers.
You like a-
And I'm gonna
Yeah.
use Emboldening Bond on myself, Show, and Ert. So they have, I mean, when you guys are within 30 feet of each other, I don't really know how long this lasts. It says 10 minutes. So there we go. Until 10 minutes or use the feature again. While any bonded creatures are within 30 feet of another, once per turn, they can roll a d4 and add it to an attack roll or an ability check. It's really for the ability checks if you have to do anything cool. So, yeah, I think now we can put this plan into place. Show, if you're gonna start headed up, or you wait with me for a minute, but can you take this end of 100 feet of spider silk that we got in episode 3 and jump this to the top?
Well, just trust me. There's a lot of stuff that you guys have that I think about all the time.
Who,
So
me or who's
just
jumping?
Using
Me
stuff that we
or
obtained.
No. Show.
Show have
Show.
it.
Yeah.
Shows,
Okay.
shows
the spider
hate up.
silk is one of them. I can't believe you remembered it. That's so sick. Awesome. I'm smiling ear to ear because I'm like, there's options for things to change. That's so good. That's good. That's a good one. Gosh, that's funny. Joe, go ahead and roll me an athletics check.
So I can use the emboldening bonds, right?
You can add a d4, right?
So then that would be a dirty 20 total.
Perfect. You leap up there with the silk in hand. Perfect. Like feathers as you land and on top of it, perfectly at the edge. Go ahead and roll me a perception check as you're up there. The rest of you guys, can you give me a dex saving throw?
Natural 20.
Damn, she perceptive's
Dang, all the high rolls.
Normally,
now
that's
we're-
what I needed because I'm so bad at these normally.
A natural 20 is awesome.
And what are we rolling?
Roll,
Dex
you guys are
saving.
rolling a dex saving throw.
Okay. 22. We're doing all the high
Oh,
rolls
I get the d4.
today.
I'm a champ.
I got 14.
What'd you roll, Fritos or
10.
Raven? 10,
I was 16.
16. What'd you
Yeah.
roll? I almost said Spencer. What'd you
Hey,
roll?
like
Earth?
government name?
What'd you roll? Earth? I never quite.
Yeah, that's fucking weird.
Better roll.
And then Jared, what'd you roll?
22.
Okay, perfect. You all pass. Raven, you feel the shifting. It's very unstable, as you have like this open basket, and as Show jumps up, the force that it takes to get all the way up there really shakes the thing. So Raven, you slip off, but you're not all the way off, but you like slip over the side, like you almost fall off, but you're like, oh, wait a second, I'm good to go. Just the whole instability of this thing. With a nat 20 perception check, Raven, you hear, sorry, not Raven, Show, you hear voices at the thing. Oi, hurry up, we gotta go, this place about to blow. You hear a couple of people stepping and moving as they're trying to get through. With a nat 20, you also hear the whimpering of some sort of like beast. It's really hard. You're not very familiar. You can roll. I'll give you you'll be able to roll like a nature if you want to know what kind of beast it is. But with a nat 20, you definitely
They're in opposite directions, or are they coming from the same kind of
Same.
direction?
same direction. You hear the
Okay.
scuffing of feet. You hear You hear a couple people speaking. Probably with a nat 20, you hear 3 or 4 different people that are kind of scuffling around, and you hear the whimpering of some sort of beast in that area.
Okay, I'll roll the nature check.
Perfect.
I got a 7.
With a 7, you're not very sure what
It's a
it
dog.
is. I will tell you, out of some of the things, it's not like a common beast. If that helps you. With a 7, it's not something like, because like a 5, you would know that like a dog or like a cat or like a cow, like a common like farm animal or something that you would be familiar with.
Mhm.
You could hear the whimpering, and just by that noise, you know it's not a common animal. That it's some sort of beast that is uncommon.
How many dragons is enough dragons?
The limit does not
Shell
exist.
would like to, if possible, to sneak closer, and take a look first. Yeah, maybe just sneak as close as I can to see the not just the beast, but the men as well who are talking, to see maybe if we can get a jump on them.
Perfect. You have the silk in your hand as well.
Wait, Joe, come back.
Oh, I needed. Is there anything around me that I could tie it to? Like,
With a
is
nat
there
20,
a pillar?
there's a bunch of pillars,
Okay.
stone pillars that would be able to like really tie this
I'm
up
the
against.
sturdiest looking of pillars. I'm gonna tie the
Yeah.
silk rope onto.
Thank
Perfect.
goodness.
And then do you toss the
Thank
rest
you,
of it
Chef.
over to the side for them to grab onto?
Yeah, to like, go back.
Oh, I think-
I'm gonna try to throw it as close. Or did we tie it already to the?
We didn't tie anything. I think the
Okay.
idea was to give her to give Show one end and just jump. He jumps up there and we still have the other end.
Yeah.
So
So
once
it's-
once Show
Okay.
secures it, Tydox is like phenomenal.
Yeah, you feel the secureness of it. Show, can you roll me a stealth check?
Yeah.
You can roll it with advantage as well because they're certainly distracted.
I got a 15.
With
total.
advantage,
With advantage, yes.
and you can roll your emboldening bond as well too every time.
Oh,
It
am I-
doesn't work.
I'm too far now,
Oh.
right? Or
Yeah.
Doesn't work now. You're right.
Yeah.
I had a plan for that, but we're gonna audible it. It's okay.
Okay, so with the 15, you're not noticed by the guys.
uh,
You get closer, you sneak a little bit closer, you see an owlbear person. Technically, they're called an owlin, but it looks like a person the size of an owlbear, which I don't think you've ever seen an owlbear, but it's an owl and a bear mixed together, as it sounds. It's
Oh.
very,
Is it?
it's an unbelievably large owl.
Owl bear.
You know, you see.
We used to look at our D&D characters and maps.
Sorry, you see it look directly at you. It's got a sword stabbed through its side. It is breathing, but just barely. It clocks you and looks as if it's desperately asking you for help. There's 4 people, big old brute-sized men, clouded armor, who are holding boxes of books, basically, and are taking these books through a portal.
okay.
And they look like they're like going in and out of this portal, just like back and forth, like trying to get as many books before this place collapses. And you see that this place, a lot of these books have like been taken.
Okay. Could I sneak? Can I try to sneak up to the owlbear while like maintaining? I want to maintain like eye contact with the owlbear and like kind of like be like, you know, like okay, little buddy, like I'm gonna try to help you, like be real gentle, like, you know, try to be like calm with it, if that makes sense.
She's a little bit of ways away from you, but certainly you can. You notice the guys are close enough to her, but kind of far out. They were able to sneak up to her even with a 15. When you get to her, I'm going to need you to roll one more stealth check to see if the guys notice you as you get there.
I got a dirty 20 on this one.
Perfect. You are lights out, completely hidden. You get up to her. What do you do?
Just fucking punch her.
Could can I just try? I guess I'll just try talking to it in common first, because and I assume it doesn't speak common, but okay, girl, I'm gonna need your help here. We're in a bad situation, but I'm gonna try to help you out, and maybe you can help me out. And I've been carrying that peppermint latte mocha this whole time, and I'm gonna give her the peppermint mocha latte and see if that heals her.
I love it.
I have no idea what it does. I don't think we know what it does at all. I don't know what it does.
We do know what it does. Do you
It's
want to
not
know what
it.
it says it does?
I'll tell you. You do know what it does. If you want to, I'll let you retroactive. But it is a cool moment if you want to give it to her.
It's gonna be great, and I'm here for it.
Are
So
owlbears eat peppermint?
peppermint,
like it.
the peppermint mocha, it speeds up a person's turn, allows an extra action on one turn. This also gives the player one use of frost breath that they can use within 1 minute. So this owlin now is fast, has haste, I guess, but also can use a
haste,
frost
yeah.
breath whenever it feels like.
Ow, bear.
Two
Well,
guys
I
over
can also
there.
try, I guess, do medical.
Nah, give it the
As
peppermint
well.
mocha.
As you get closer,
I'm still giving it the peppermint milk. I don't know.
You can
I
do-
think that's great. Let's do
I'll allow,
that.
I'll allow you to do both, but as you get closer to her, you get a better look at her. She's got a sword that's like stabbed basically through her side, presumably left to die here. The guys that the soldiers that are walking around, they presumably stabbed her and have just left her to die. She does speak common. She is a full-grown person. She's an owlin. I said she's the size of an owl bear, but she is like standing would be essentially standing on 2 feet. She is the librarian of this place. You hear her weakishly look at you as you try to force feed her this peppermint because it's the only way she's gonna be able to like really drink it. She's like, ah, 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 thank you. They're, they're here to steal my work. All that, uh, all that I've been here for. And then you pass her the peppermint. She's like, it's delicious. It's amazing. The best thing she's ever tasted in the world. She's got a little beak, so it's kind of hard to like really shove it in her mouth. But it's a little bit warm, but like it's like that perfect hot, icy like combination that a peppermint mocha is. If you've never had one, they're amazing and delicious. One of my favorite things. It's a little bit of chocolatey. It's amazing. It does not heal her. I'll allow you to roll a medicine check, but to see what it does to her.
A 14 plus -2 for 12.
12.
Before, while show's doing that, I think because they got their own thing going on. I think Tydox and were kind of talking, and then was probably going to start climbing up the silk rope ladder.
That's a phenomenal idea.
While they
Yeah.
were.
All right, now it feels like
I cut it off. So
feels
I
like
don't
Show
know,
secured it. Yeah. Head on up so that Show's not alone. If you guys are okay with that.
Yeah, you guys make like a little silk ladder that's pretty easy to climb. However, it's
I just wanted it to be it's just a rope
Just a
because I have
rope?
another plan. I have another plan for this.
What?
If-
Rope
So you
afterwards?
said it's 100
Yes.
feet, right?
Yeah.
the ceiling itself. Oh, the 100 feet of silk.
The
Yes,
rope.
The
yeah.
100 feet of silk rope. Yeah.
Basically, I want to be my idea is to slide down the rope as my means of getting down rather than jumping off. Would I be able to do that?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah,
they,
man.
they climb up the rope. and
This
I'm
is a
gonna-
multi-purpose rope that's
Yeah.
gonna go up and down about 100 feet.
It's like, does a
Jeffrey-
straw have 1 or 2 holes?
Jeffrey has just gotten it revved
Everyone-
up, and he's staring at Jared to be like, "Hey, do you want me to continue going up or down? You never gave me the option." And he's just gotten it to like revved up to now I can move up or down. And you see Raven slide the rope down and start sliding out of it as he goes all the way to the bottom. Jared, you look up. Tydox, you said you climb up it, right? Or is it just?
I do not climb up it.
Okay, so just
So,
so, Ert, you
here.
climb up. Ert, give me an athletics, and then
Raven.
Raven, give me either an acrobatics or athletics.
Oh fuck.
Okay,
Jared, can
I'll
you
do
have Jeffrey hold us
acrobatics.
steady?
But we just got this working.
Yeah, and
21.
we need to be is in
21.
line
Acrobatics or
crystal as we
athletics?
can be.
21 acrobatics.
Acrobatics. Did you slap
Sorry,
one
Jeffrey.
arm, circle down this thing? Like hot guy. Your shirt comes off a little bit. It's just perfect abs as you're like sliding down the thing with one arm. You land gracefully, perfectly. You do a flip at the end, land perfectly. Your suit is perfect. It do the classic button back up. Nothing, no dirt or anything. You're at the bottom. Um, the
You're at the bottom.
7 athletics. You're a very heavy guy.
Is it? Wait. That's right?
Yeah,
Well, I don't know if it's gonna matter, but you have a D4 also that you can add because
it
we
will
are
matter.
still close enough.
It will matter if you.
Okay,
I will say.
so do good because you and I are close enough
Plus
for this
4.
exact reason. I planned for
Plus
this.
4.
9, 10, 11. I got 11.
You
Over
just
10?
barely got it. Over 10.
Yes.
Baby.
10 was what you needed. The other was
yeah.
gonna break the rope. The rope.
I'd have
You're
been
a
so
heavy.
fucking
You're
mad.
a heavy guy as you're climbing up this. The silk is wonderful. It's beautiful, like crafted and designed, and it's very elastic. You begin to feel it break as your heavy body, as you're climbing, but it just barely holds back on and elastic back into it. You're not able to you're like holding on like this at the top instead of being able to like fully get up. So you gotta hoof yourself up. So give me one strength check.
Nice.
It's how well you're able to man up your gigantic dragon body.
14 plus 4, 18. Do I still get
You
my
got
plus? Does it matter?
It doesn't
You
matter.
already
got it.
used it
Oh, is it only once?
It's
once per turn.
once per
right?
turn.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it's got to be within 30 feet. So you're at the.
Yeah.
at-
So if he's up top, yeah, you're out of. Just want you to
Well,
make it there.
you could be. It doesn't have to be within you, right? It's 30 feet
No.
within the people that are.
Well, me
Yeah. So
right now.
if
now
show is
Bert
close
and
enough.
Show would be close enough. No, so you guys hear that? You guys are close enough. We'll come back to you, Show, because I remember you said the medicine check. I didn't forget it. Jared, you look up. Tydox is the only one in the basket. You and Jeffrey. And so Jeffrey has just gotten it revved up to go up or down. It is fully cooked, and you see him just like hoofing, but in place, And so
That you want up or down? Personally, I kind of want to leave.
uh, we need to. Can you try to like descend with the crystal? I have to get as close as I can to it.
Sure. That Jeffrey down?
and he goes at the exact pace of the crystal moving down. He has like trained his body to like at whatever tempo he needs to go to for these like races or things. So he's perfectly in line as he's just and he's facing one way, but his legs are going backwards. This way. So
Good,
it's not like
Jeffrey,
he
good.
turns around, but you see him just like pushing backwards like this.
What a weird.
That's a good Jeffrey.
Yeah, just like, and he's cooking, just like the whole time. No sweat on his body. He just looks perfectly in sync with this. So you're descending at the exact pace of this. The rope begins to stretch as you guys are going down. So you feel it stretching because you tied it on and had done that on the top part. If you didn't tie it, if you're just holding it, you feel it get taut in your hands.
Yeah. So the Ert goes up, Raven goes down, and now Tydox is on the little the elevator, slowing at the same pace as.
Some technical difficulties. Am I back?
Yeah, I
We
can
can
hear you.
hear you now.
Okay.
Are you still recording everything? We're still good?
Uh, yeah. So pretty much right as Tydox was explaining the plan.
You crashed out.
Yeah. Feel
He had
free.
just, he had just pulled. We paused pretty much right after that.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Recap. He pulled up the rope from your hands. Um, and we jumped to show was the next part. Show with a 12 medicine check. You notice that it's vital organs that have been hit. That would be, but she is, you know, just well enough where she's still like alive, um, and that it is somewhat recoverable. If you had a doctor in your party who is pretty good at this, they would have been able to like fully recover all of
If
this.
only.
You know, some sort of medic or medicine would be able to, but um,
It looks like he's right there.
Or healer
or a
that wasn't
healer.
about to leave.
You haven't heard.
Um,
It's fine. Jared made his choice. It's
as
okay.
you're like staring at it, Ert, give me a stealth check.
Fuck.
If you plan to get close to
I do, but before I do that, because
at disadvantage also. 'Cause
exactly.
you-
But before I do that, because I'm just up top, but I can see where they're at, right?
Yeah.
How far away are they from me?
30 feet. You're close enough
You're
to use.
within the emboldening
Yeah.
bond.
Could, if I use Misty Step, do I have to do
Oh, nice.
disadvantage?
Nope. You could just Misty Step. I will tell you, Misty Step is some
Yeah,
sort of
I'm just gonna
magic.
use up a slot.
Yeah.
It's some sort of what?
It doesn't actually with
Magic.
Fate Touch. You don't even need to use a spell slot. It just you can use it once per long rest.
Oh!
Wait,
Let me
wait,
go
wait.
ahead. What?
Can you read it?
Yeah.
I just
It's a so it says Misty Step, casting time bonus, one bonus action, instantaneous, briefly surrounded by silvery mist, you teleport up to 30 feet to an unoccupied space that you can see.
okay. Does it have like a V or an S or anything that's gonna blow
has
your
a V.
cover? Okay. You know what
V
that means?
voice. S means thematic, so it means like hand movements. M is materials.
So voice, I could just say Misty Step.
You,
And then like
you yeah. The reason he's asking, and it's the thing I'm going to tell you right out. You cast it, okay? That's the first thing, and then I'll tell you the consequences afterwards.
Well, no, I remember I said, "Can I?"
Yeah. Okay. So
You most
You want.
certainly can try.
you can, yes. I will give you some grace when it comes to spells, especially ones with a V. Okay,
Uh-huh.
I mean there's some sort of audible sound that is a noticeable magic thing. You are sneaking from people within this area, so it will make noise. I will tell you that.
Now, can Show see me?
Show is locked in on the Owlin.
Okay. And
So
before I thought I had something that I could do.
and I'm not going to say they guarantee hear you. I'm going to roll to see if they hear you.
Yeah. Because I was also this would be stupid, but I was kind of thinking if I could use command on Show and be like, "Hi," and just so they see me. And I'm like, "Can you hear me? How far does our voice?"
You want to use command on show?
No, last time Show got mad. Alright, I'm gonna fucking send it. Let me do Misty Step.
This is step. Okay. So you miss a step right behind show. Okay. So that works right away. You don't have to roll or anything. You do use it. Roll me a stealth at disadvantage.
Whack.
I will tell you. Well, you
Well,
would
then
have
if I was
roll-
doing it at disadvantage, might as well just do it
You have-
regular
you,
then.
you have the
Emboldened
armor
bond.
that you have.
Uh-huh.
That you have is why the chain your armor is why it's at disadvantage. Your plate armor, yeah.
Oh, what I know, but I was gonna say if it was gonna be.
Well, then
disadvantage
just
anyway-
do regular sneak.
Yeah,
and
that's what I'm
save
saying.
your
I'll just do a
days.
regular
It
sneak.
it will cancel out actually. I just thought about this. So you get advantage for teleporting over there. So originally, just like Shell would have had to do 2 stealth checks to get over there. Um, you're just doing 1 stealth check.
Yeah, that makes
So
more sense. Because that was the whole point of me, was to get rid of the disadvantage.
yeah,
So it just
yeah,
cancels it out.
yeah. We'll cancel it out for you. So just a base stealth check. Okay. I will tell you, I rolled a 16 on the die.
I am beating that, but let's go.
You
Oh,
good?
I got a 14. So close.
And then
Hey.
what you get an emboldening bond as well.
Oh,
too.
and Bully Bud.
Oh!
Yeah, because you're with Show.
All right. Well, Cerveza says, don't fuck this up.
Anything but a 1.
I got a 2. Doesn't meet it, beat it.
Beats it, beats it.
Beats it.
So you are hidden.
Sneaky snake.
Show, you feel the presence of Urt pop up behind you as you're
Hi.
like trying to figure this out. Urt, you're huge. With just your passive perceptions, you hear these guys, they're kind of going crazy. One stops for a second in the middle of this, as if to be like, I think I heard something, and the other one hits him, as they're trying to like go in and out, he hits him behind, and he's like, "Move it, we don't got time to shit around." And he's like, "But I thought I," and he's, then he goes off and, he's like one of the underlings, so he's like, "Shut up, you're not important," like just move, move faster. This place is getting destroyed. So, he's suspicious, but he doesn't hear you. So,
And then so, after, hey, Joe, how are you? Hey, how are you?
Alright. How about we not worry about me, more about the dying woman in front of us. And
Exactly. How are they doing? What's the sit rep?
why don't you just do your first aid shit and let me talk to her for a second?
God, he's a paladin.
And
Exactly.
Show leaned into the Allen, and he's like, what were you working on here? Like, what are they taking out of here?
all the knowledge, all the knowledge.
Or the knowledge.
Just all of the knowledge in the world? Like, what do you mean?
Everything. I've been around all of it, all of the things I've collected.
Okay, so we got a choice here. Do you want the knowledge destroyed, or is it worse to have it in their hands or for it to be destroyed?
Oh, damn. Show's so cold.
Yeah.
Band-aid right off.
Good question.
Empathy. Talking about this earlier.
The owl.
Show's like, no, man.
When you think about destroying the life's work of this ancient primordial being, longer than life itself, she looks at you and is like, you see the tears in her eyes as she realizes this tower is getting destroyed anyway. So like being it destroyed is, better to be preserved. But go ahead and roll an insight, actually. While we're sitting here.
I'm gonna Sarah McLaughlin this shit.
16 minus 2 for 14.
Yeah. So she basically
Plus emboldening bond.
plus in bowling blood.
So
Yeah,
just
it's
a
so strong.
16 then.
Oh, good.
She you feel the like, I don't know how much Show has ever like loved something and like cared truly, like that has put his whole work and desire into this thing. I don't know how much of that you would really understand, but what you're asking basically is like 2 questions that are like, all of everything that she's ever done and ever collected in her time is about to get destroyed, and she doesn't want that. But she
Okay,
doesn't
let
these
me
guys
maybe
out.
rephrase this for these people came and they stabbed you in the gut with this sword. Do you want them to have your life's work or not?
Which I'm actively healing.
No. I they must pay. They've already taken so much. And then she feels you are, and you see her eyes get bigger, and she says, "Silver, silver, silver, wings, wings." As she like is like remembering basically like things. I'll be honest. She does speak common. She's talking to a bird. You know, she speaks mainly
Mm-hmm.
Owlin, and so most of what she says is not helpful. It's like one word phrases. You know, and so that's like that is one thing you are going to get from her is you don't really understand what's happening, but there was like one phrase. It's like, so you hear her, you know, silver, silver, and then says wings, wings. Um, and Ert, you hear that as well.
I'm trying to heal this bitch right now.
Okay, what are you going to use to heal her?
Well, I have one healing kit left, but I don't remember what it does.
Uh, in the hands of Elizabeth, a lot more than in the hands of you, but it's like a D4.
You said she's pretty weak, right?
Oh yeah, on death's door,
Okay.
pretty much.
Then
You
I'll
would
probably like.
also need to
Go ahead.
remove the sword that's in her side.
Okay. Well then I'm gonna use Cure Wounds level 2.
Okay, and you remove the sword from her gut.
Yeah.
Cool. You put this on. You put this healing on. Go ahead and roll
I'm just gonna do it
the
in whatever this thing's called.
D&D Beyond.
Yeah. 6, 8, 11.
Perfect.
Is
11
that
is good. She's still
Wait, but
she's
also
still
do I
hurt.
get does the thing that Tacmoni emboldening bond work for that as well?
No.
No? Okay.
So you heal her. She's definitely a thing. Um, she kind of sits up a little bit, but still is. She's a very large creature. Probably. I mean, you're a large creature at like I think 7 feet, 8 feet maybe. Um, she's like imagine like 12 to 16 feet. Um, when she like stands up, she's like a hulking menace of a person. Um, So you heal the side of her. She even dwarfs you, or she doesn't get up because she's afraid of moving and being seen by these guys. So you ask the question if they need to get her. She's distracted by the the silver dragon that's near her. Um, it says silver, silver, wings, wings, um, and then she looks back at you and she says, "Take, take." They take, they take.
Hmm.
Was she looking at me or show?
She looked
That
at
show.
you and said, "Silver, silver,
Oh.
wings, wings," and then says to show, "They take, they take, they take."
Um, s- Tydox, do I still have the stones? Did we um when we were in the Elven capital and we were with Thorowwind? Did we actually give
Yeah.
the stones? We did. I have the stones still, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Um. So
The Maddie, they're the magical tinkering stones. I believe you have two. Show has two of them. I believe.
Yeah.
I have a total of 5.
um.
Where's my scales at?
How far away is this portal?
It's about 15 feet away from you guys,
Ow.
in the opposite direction of the like where they're at. Um, if you would like to look into the portal, you can see on the other side of it. Imagine like
What's
the Oblivion gates. You can kind of see
Just
the
stick
uh-huh.
your
other
head
side.
in.
And what's on the other side of the portal if I can
It looks to be another like room or some sort of like uh, dark, um, and not dark as in temperature or light. Dark as in like theme. Um,
No.
like it looks to be like some sort of like manor or like candles and you've never seen this place. Like, the place doesn't look familiar to you. It doesn't look like a ship or like a, it looks like it's directly connected to somewhere else. I'll let you roll an insight if you want to, like, what would this be, or you can think about it.
I assume it's like Elysium somewhere, but for my insight, I got a 16 total.
With a 16, you would assume that it is mycelium.
Oh, that's what I mean. Mycelium, yeah. Okay.
It looks like it's directly into the castle itself.
Where are these orcs at?
They are full-on humans.
Mhm.
I was like, where the hell did orcs come from? What?
And
Episode
they-
title. Where's
they're
orcs at?
they're they're about 15 feet away
From the portal?
Yeah. So they're going in and out of the portal as they're like grabbing different books, and they're like basically like it's a fast one-way target, basically, or two-way street, basically, back and forth to it.
So if you want me to, I can take out those humans right now.
I don't think so. Why don't you talk to the bird lady about your silver wings? How about you do that for me, please? While I think about something for a bit here.
While you think about something for a bit, we're gonna go back to Jared and Tydox. Actually, we're gonna go back to Raven first. Raven, what do you want to do at the bottom?
So.
You landed at the bottom. You have no rope anymore, so you are at the bottom.
Well, if I am going to catch anyone, I think I probably should
Wait,
not
where's Jared at?
still be in the tower. Otherwise, I'll catch a lot of rocks. So, is there a? Am I able to get back outside pretty easily?
Yeah, and go ahead and roll me a persuasion, or not persuasion, a perception check too while you're at the bottom.
Okay.
Persuade that window
Persuade
to
that
open.
tower.
18.
18. Around you, you do see that there are like pieces of the tower itself that have begun to collapse from the second floor. That wasn't very noticeable when you were up. That the other guys didn't look for, but at the bottom, you're definitely noticing that like the tower itself is for sure collapsing. There's parts of it that are like falling in. You feel the dust, the rock hits at the bottom, especially at the bottom of the tower. You feel it way more than you would like at the top, because like at the top you're basically, it's like an elevator. As it's falling down, you're like, the way physics, you're like there, but at the bottom you definitely are feeling like you see the side effects of like everything that's like happening. You recognize that there's only about 10-ish minutes left, just from how the hourglass is sinking out. That basically 5 minutes have passed. So
Okay. Am I like far enough away that they can't hear me, or would they be able to hear me if I yelled?
they certainly could hear you.
Okay, so basically I yell up, be like, "Hey, Tydox, we got about maybe 10 minutes left before this thing falls. So I hope your plan works out."
he's coiling the thing. Well, we'll never know until we try.
All I know is I'm gonna head outside. So if you're gonna, it doesn't look like coming down's an option. So if you're gonna go jump off the edge, I'll figure something out.
All right. I have some thoughts and gadgets too, but yeah. See you at the bottom.
Good luck.
You go outside. You're at the base of the tower itself. You see it, again, there's bodies and people on the ground. You see that there's the stairs that lead down into the jungle. What are you looking for specifically? Or what are your thoughts? What do you want to?
I want to find a pretty big clearing. One, so that they can see where I'm at, and two, so I can turn into the thing that I want to, and that it's obvious that I'm down there. So yeah, just looking for the biggest kind of clearing near the tower.
The bottom of the tower, it'd probably be your best clearing. It's kind of like this little courtyard that's the flattest of the land. It's like right before you actually get into the tower that goes up to the stairs. So it's like a big courtyard. That would be like the best clearing because underneath the stairs is like a massive jungle that is meant to lose you unless you know where you're going. And so um,
The other
you
thing
guys have
is, like, does the tower, I guess, like, the window edge of the tower, does it go kind of all around? Or is there like one side that's like obviously like the escape window is on this side type thing?
Well, the side that you're on, as you walk out, you look up. There's that hole that's right above you.
Yeah.
That's like the start, but it's like a big circular tower that has like different patterns on it.
Okay.
Um, you see, as you look up, the top part of the tower that felt like it reached all the way to the sky, slices off, and begins to crumble into the large chasm that is like this little area. So you see like that the top part of the tower falls off the side as you like have come outside now, and to
Okay.
kind of see the damage. You see that like what reached all the way to the side to the sky now is like no longer reaching all the way to the sky. A lot of it is starting to fall and collapse off the place. You can kind of see it shake a lot more as the tower is like really going like imploding basically inside itself. You get a way better picture of the imagine kind of like a black hole as it's all like collapsing inside itself.
Yeah. Okay. And then the last like prep thing I want to do is in case I have to do something heroic, I'm gonna use guidance to give myself a ability check D4.
Sick.
So I have that.
Cool.
So yeah, and then I'm just gonna wait and see what happens at the moment.
Okay. Tydox and Jared and Jeffrey, as Jeffrey's running backwards, facing forward but running backwards. You guys get up. Tydox, you said you're coiling some stuff. What are you guys doing?
I am using the I'm gonna try to use the Tinkerer's hammer and mend this spider silk and maybe even reinforce it to see if the plan is to throw it to Moro, see if he can affix it to the crystal.
Yeah,
If
roll
you
me
didn't see this coming.
an animal handling check
Okay.
with advantage because he's trying to help you.
If it takes,
What were you gonna ask?
Because he's way big. He's bigger now. I forgot. Shifty is pretty sizable, so we're not gonna do that. Never mind. Animal handling. Actually not terrible, but with advantage, you say?
Mm-hmm.
Baby. And I don't have my 16 plus 3. Yeah, 19.
19. You kind of throw it. Moro is like he's like sitting there, like, trying to perch on this crystal as he's like walking around and making it worse. He grabs the thing with his mouth. Moro grabs the silk. You throw it, beautifully for it, and then he, again, he like sticks it, and it just imagine like Spider-Man's web as he like sticks it onto it, and it's
I was
not.
almost thinking like we got Tydox would have tried to make some sort of like
Ball.
more catchable or like almost like a net cradle that he could try to slip over, but like because I know that he's a dragon, doesn't have maybe the best dexterity.
Yeah.
Not getting butterfly knots out of him, but
Yeah.
the Tinkerer
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah, it basically like imagine it Spider-Man like 5 grip stick onto this thing.
Yeah.
And Moro's like trying to like pull it off a little bit and it's not moving and now he's like kind of upset, you know. And so but he actually climbs on the rope itself to like try to like move it and it's not moving and so now he feels like he's failed you because you don't speak Draconic and so he's like trying to tell
I
you.
do.
Do you
I
speak
do
Draconic?
speak
Oh
Draconic.
yeah.
Yes,
Then
yes,
you can
yes,
talk
yes,
to
yes.
you can speak to him actually. You hear him like, oh sorry, I it's sticking to the crystal. Is basically what he's saying. Like it's not moving, it's sticking to the crystal. So he's like trying to like pull it up. Like I messed up. Now it's stuck to the crystal.
Oh no, Roar, you did great. We needed it stuck to the crystal. It's phenomenal. Excellent work.
And then you see him. He nods, and then he kind of has his bearing on the rope itself. You feel the crystal is still kind of moving with like the weight of the gondola now as you're like holding on to the other end, or actually it goes up to the stair unless you've kind of made a little like
Oh,
triangular. What
if
would you?
do you want to let me make a little triangular thing? Because I
What
can do
would
that
you?
too.
What would Tydox have done? Would he have let the focal point be the pillar at the top, or would he have let it be on the gondola?
So if we do go with the triangle thing, Tydox likes the triangle idea. So if we chuck it out, he gets it, and now the crystal has like a midpoint. Tydox affixes the other point to the gondola. We are now bailing out of the gondola and telling Jeffrey to run the other way. Try to keep this
Yeah.
crystal up as long as possible.
He's
Yeah.
going up. You're going up now. Trying to pull it
we're-
up.
Try to pull it up. Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
All right. You see Jeffrey start to run forward. He's moving it. You see that the crystal is like jarred to the side, but then it like as you go up, it like centers back. Moro is like kind of confused on what's going on. He's on top of it and it's now like centered back.
If it gets centered back, all right, Mara, we did a great job. Come back to me.
And you see him, he like crawls back to you on
I help too.
the little rope.
Yes.
He's big.
Yeah.
Moro's gotten to a point where he's kind of a chunk. He's not the size of Urt yet, but you'd give Urt almost a run for his money at this point. Like as he lands, he lands into the gondola, so it like shakes a little bit more. But you get to a point into the magic stone that yes, it goes up, it stabilizes it, but at some point it stops you from going up. But it is now slow. You see the sand? Well, you guys probably wouldn't be able to look at it, but you would intuitively know that, like, just from
Like
how
that's
far
grass.
you are,
Yeah.
you would understand that the sand has now basically slowed down, and you have basically shortened the time. What now would be like $10, or sorry, 10 minutes to now you're back to like 20. Almost have doubled your time that you had remaining. But it gets to a point where it stabilizes, but then it begins to descend still as you're trying to work against it to try to like move up. The magic itself begins to flutter back up and start to work. And so the magic, like an old engine that's like starting up again, like
Yeah.
And then you see it like come back to life, but still like sputters out as it like has revved up. Jeffrey no longer needs to run, but he's gotten to a point where it is still moving. The magic, is still depleting this area, especially because the top of it's gone, but it is now slowing down. Pause there.
Good
And
job.
Shaw. Okay.
Good job, Jeffrey.
Good job, Jeffrey.
Jeffrey just is like still trying to run, but now it's like working on its own. So now it's like he went from like straining himself to like it's now really easy for him to like it's like already worked
Like a
up.
light
So
jaunt.
yeah, so he's like not even really like working at this point anymore, but he's like trying. He's like, I'm trying, just trying to keep going, but he's really not doing anything. Ert and Show, as you go, you still feel like the tower's still moving and stuff, but you start to notice some of the like some of the like smaller like crystals, like crystal like areas. As you kind of look around, you're looking at this owlin, and she's like trying to like move a little bit to try to get into a better spot. You notice that like the candles are all magically lit. They were out and they pop back up because the magic is now like turned on. So that's the first thing you notice. You notice that these humans also notice that, and now they're like, something's happening. I think we're not alone. But they don't see you guys. Um, but they begin to start like looking around almost.
Um, Shell turns to Ert and he's like, talk to her about your wings. I'm gonna get you some time. This is important. Pull your head out of your ass, boy. Okay. And Shell pops up and he said like he tries to get a little bit of waste and then pops up as like essentially like as they like, oh yeah, you did hear something. It was me.
Oi! And they go instantly. Go ahead and roll initiative, Shell. They go basically instant into like, oh, we have to kill this guy. Ert, do you want to say anything to Dowlin?
Where's my wings?
She
hate you so much.
she points up to something you guys haven't really noticed because you guys have been like laser focused on this. She points up and goes, wings, wings. You see the outline of a dragon that's silver. And go ahead. I mean, I think intuitively you would know this dragon looks like what you could have been, full dragon.
And then Ert leaps up into the sky and grabs those pair of wings.
The wings are missing.
Damn.
It looks like they have taken. She's basically telling you wings, wings, and she points up to the dragon that is missing wings. But what could have been a full blown like silver dragon.
I know wings. Where are they? Where's
And
Rachel?
then she says like, taken. They take them.
By
They
who?
take them.
By who?
The people that are running around, she's
Mm.
like pointing to them like, taken.
And does
And
she point to the portal?
yeah. And so
Oh,
she's
fuck me.
Oh yeah.
Shell
That's what I
rolled
like
a
to hear.
14 total.
14.
Now,
You
out
get
of
to go
curiosity,
first.
after hearing that, can I do a sneak
Still haven't
attack
rolled
sometime
yet.
in this
Oh, wait, no, you
situation?
To attack them, you can roll initiative as well.
Is initiative an ability check?
Yep. It is, so you can roll a d4 on it too as well.
Oh.
Shell would like to immediately try to grapple one of them because whoever he thinks looks to be in charge because he wants to talk to them.
The most in charge.
Yeah.
Come here, boy.
They pull out swords. As you get kind of closer to them and you see the initiative, go ahead and roll me like insight or.
I did roll a 19.
I got an 11 total from insight.
What'd you roll, Ert, for your initiative?
19.
Cool. Show's gonna go first because she's got
Yeah.
he's got a sneak attack, and then you'll be put into combat. You'll be end up being above her or above him.
Do I get a sneak
so-
attack too?
Technically, only rogues get sneak attack. So,
Okay.
yeah,
Dumb as
um, yeah.
I'm shrink.
Show gets. It's not really a sneak attack, but it's basically is like the
Attack.
first round of combat because they were not expecting. They're surprised at them attacking it. And you use technically your turn to like talk to the owlin to find out about the wings. What'd you say you rolled for your insight? An 11?
11.
With an 11, you don't get a ton of information. that you would have maybe have gotten, but none of them. They looks like there's one that's more in charge, but none of them look like they're in charge. If that makes sense, you know,
Yeah, I get what you mean.
they're like private first classes, and one's like
Mm.
a corporal or something, you know,
Yeah.
and they all look like they're underlings and have been sent here to do the grunt work. Um, but one looks like he might be slightly more in charge than the rest of them.
That's the
Okay.
specialist right now.
Um, Shell will try to grapple him so he can talk to him.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me an athletics.
Mm, I got a 17.
And you can roll with the bond as well.
Oh,
Well, you might have just done it, didn't you?
30,
Wasn't you-
20. No, I didn't. So that's 30, 20 total.
Cool. You grapple him. He only rolled a 10. It didn't matter. But...
Nice.
Shell like leans in and he says, "Now don't be so hasty, boy. Maybe we can come to some sort of solution here. You know, I think you're coming at us like we're adversaries, and I'm just not sure if that's so true." He's like, "How do you know? Maybe we were also here to get the relic for you guys."
You see the other three, as you grab the guy who kind of looks like he's in charge, the other three begin to shake their swords like, "Oi, you leave him alone." And then they're like getting ready to. We don't want no trouble. And then the guy that you got in this, he's like, "Why? You can't stop me. I'll and he's like trying to fight off, trying to like get off you, and he's just like, I'll ring you up. I'll tell you to the boss." As
Take
you
me
like,
to the boss. That would be perfect if you could take me to your boss. I would appreciate that, actually.
Damn it! I wanted to cut these guys in half so bad.
Mm.
You can cut the
Yeah.
rest of them.
yeah, he's not gonna be too happy with you. He'll get you.
He'll get me. Well, that'd be great if he could get me. Now, why don't you just help me walk me through that portal of yours there, and we'll see what we got going on.
He looks at the other ones. He's like, "Portal, you can see the portal." Dang
Yeah.
it. And it's not like a hidden thing, but they're just stupid, They're like,
Mhm.
he's like, "I can smell Elysium on you, you dirty cow." You're like,
Dirty cow. You're right. You probably can smell Elysium on me. I am from Elysium, after all. But I would like you to know that I'm also a traitor. So, maybe we can come to some sort of deal here. You might have heard of us. We're kind of famous, I think. Got banished and all.
Infamous.
"Hey, nice." You see the other ones, they're shaking their swords. One's got like two hands on his sword, and he's just like, getting ready to like stab you, but he's just like so scared at this point. They weren't trained for combat; they're just here.
They're bookluggers.
Yeah, and they're like, "What'd you do?" You hear one of them shout out to you.
We murdered the king. Not just murdered, we eviscerated him. That man was just blood and pulp afterwards. It was pretty crazy. We did some nice handiwork, I do say so myself.
You see the three that are outside. They kind of look at each other. You said murdered, and then you hear the guy that he said, "They're all talk. They didn't do nothing. We heard that they were a big one, a dragon. He came down in human form." And you hear him.
A
Sure.
dragon? Well, it seems like they've heard of you. Why don't you stand up here and talk for a second? Introduce yourself.
And then I think after hearing that, because Captain Nerd's like kind of already ready, but he's got his Moonlight Greatsword in his hand, and he's kind of dragging it across the ground, and he's like kind of
As you're
hovering
dragging
over.
it, it is cutting through the floor, and you see at the bottom, Tidoc's in dude, in the little kind of, you see like dust and like rock like just begin to fall, a perfectly cut like into the floor as he's like slicing through the bottom of the floor of this already almost destroyed place. Both of you guys go ahead and roll me an intimidation, or one of you can roll me if you want to roll with advantage.
I rolled a 23 total.
Mine is 15 total.
You can roll with the and the bond as well.
Oh yeah.
23 is pretty good. So
Well, if it's 23 plus the bond is 27.
good.
18 total.
Either way, both of them pretty high. They're way more scared of Show than they are of Urt. But
That makes sense.
you see that they are, you know, you hear the three in the back. They say, he said dragon, you know, and then he sees him, and then the one in the thing, you know, is holding it, but he's like more scared of you. You hear him kind of like, and he says, uh, you, you Kingslayers, you Kingslayers, the Kingslayers, they're here. And then,
Yeah. And I don't just can't slay kings either. I'll slay you too. So how about you start walking me in through this portal?
If you
Oh.
try anything, I'll kill all three of you right now in one swipe.
and then you see them, you know, basically put their swords away, and they're like, "I really not die today. In you go, Mr. Dragon." And
I
you see
think that's a great idea. You're some smart boys, aren't you? She'll claps him on the back.
all right. They begin to start to walk you guys into the thing. You see in the background the Owlin stands up at this point, and heals the rest of her wounds on her body. As she gets up, you see that she is a towering figure, and then hunches over to get back down to like normal size. But when she stands up at first, it's like a colossal, like 18, 19 foot tall, like being, and you know, slenders over, you know, back down to like 9 feet, you know.
You know, boys, actually, just hold on 1 second. I'll be right back. I need to go talk to the librarian over here. And
Do you,
she'll
do you
walks over.
drag do you drag the other guy that you're grappled with, or do you?
I like throw him to like for him to hold on to.
And then I think what Captain Erd is just gonna grab him right by the neck, the scruff of the neck, and he says, "Hello, fresh meats."
Yeah, they are not good. But yeah, you walk up to the island, you know, and she turns her head completely upside down and then back to the other side, as she like, you know, slenders back to not human form, but back to like a normal person size, you know.
Show Show walks up to her and is like as quiet as he can, so that way they can't see. Like, we'll try to get your stuff back, but I need you to go down that hallway, and our friends are down there, and let them know that we're going through this portal. Okay? They're right over there.
Portal, and she nods, and then you see that she like, as you go, the top part of the ceiling that you guys are in now, as the floor has reached thing, begins to like crack up top, as if like the next floor above is just the recent one that has been destroyed.
By the way, I do want to say this because I guess I got to. The sword that I pulled out of her is mine.
Okay, cool.
It's my
You
sword.
keep, you keep the regular longsword that
Exactly. I want it.
it is
mine.
of Elysium.
Generic.
It
It's
is
like iron
generic.
longsword.
It's my sword.
2 gold.
It is.
Oh, I'm
It
gonna
is
sell it for
yours.
that 2 gold.
It is yours. It does not look like. I mean, it looks like a cheap soldier sword that
Perfect.
you know is part of the thing. It does not look very special, but sure, you can keep it.
Mine.
You see, she nods, and then points up and says, "Careful, careful. Tower destroyed."
Yeah. They're working on that right now. So if you can get to them, they'll either help you get out or you can get them up here. Either way, but just get to them, and you guys can figure it out. I'm sure.
I hope so.
So that's happening, she goes off. That's basically happening at the same time that Tydox, you and Jared are doing this. We'll cut back to Raven. Um, and so all this stuff is like happening at the same time, just so you know. It's not like sequential happening.
Yeah.
Um, so 10 minutes has passed, basically, but what does that look like? This is what's happening. So we go to Raven. Raven, you notice that more of the tower collapses as you're out there kind of waiting for everybody to happen. What do you do?
At this point, I'm 3 beers deep. Just waiting.
He's nervous as fuck.
Is
Pulls
there?
out,
A lawn chair,
pulls out like a
drinking.
lawn. He pulls out a lawn chair and is just like, "Gosh,
So
it looks pretty bad out there."
I have 2 questions, and they're not pertinent yet, but I just need to know. One, is there any sort of like body of water around me, whether like a fountain or a pond or something?
Yeah, for sure. Fountains, absolutely. You're in like there's a huge fountain like in the middle of the courtyard, like certainly. As far as like bodies of water, no. The
No.
fountain is like the thing. The ocean surrounds it, but remember, there's like a huge like hole in the world, basically, right
Yeah.
around where the tower itself, or where the island sits.
All right, and then the second one is just
Oh,
practically
one more
speaking.
thing.
Go for it.
You notice the sides of like as you're like sitting, you're kind of up elevated above. You
Mhm.
notice that parts of the island have now begun to collapse into the abyss.
So it's not just
as
the
you're
tower.
as you're looking out, the whole place itself was covered by the magic that was in here. The island itself begins to start collapsing from the outer edges into there. The only water that you see is that like bay that you guys had landed the boat in. And you even see that begins to start to fall into the thing. Part of the like Coliseum that you guys had saw begins to collapse into the ground, or into the thing. That definitely half of the city at this point has fallen into the thing. That as you're sitting there, kind of like chilling and looking around, you're like, that's the biggest thing you notice is like the tower itself has collapsed even more, but the island now looks like it's falling apart.
Okay, that changes a lot.
Yeah, I figured it would. That's why I was like, ooh, sorry.
No longer outside is rescue zone. So then, I basically.
And this was planned before you guys start being like, Matt's metagaming and changing the scenario.
No, you're good. You're good.
Just remember, you can also use Jared's water to make your own little water bread as little drum shone because you need.
Yeah, I just have to summon enough water to fill the gap between
You
the
can do
island and
it.
the ocean.
Well, I need to make Jared aware of that fact. But I'll have to save the water slide idea for another time. I'm going to.
Pretty dope.
Basically run back. Am I able to get back in? Is the entrance still kind of clear? So basically run back and communicate. Back
when you get back
Tydox.
into it, the ground, which you had just left just a little bit ago, was like not that bad. You get closer, and now the ground is like it's like you're kind of climbing over some things to like get in there. The door itself is there, but most of the ground is like covered in stuff that Jared and Tydox have not even noticed. Trying to get this thing stable, but you get closer and you're like, oh god,
Yeah.
and for you, this scenario, it's like 7 to, well, so now it went to 20 minutes, so we'll back up. It's basically been like another 5 minutes have happened, so it's like 15 minutes of time.
All right, I'm gonna yell to Tydox, but hey, Tydox, we got a bit of a problem. It's not just the tower that's going; the whole island's going. I don't know if we can get back to sea easy. If we can even get off this island in the first place.
Okay. So not just the tower, but where was we feel like the magic escaping from, Was it like a hole in
ceiling.
the top? But now that
Yeah,
the thing's crashing down, it's just kind of like pouring out over.
yeah, yeah. So it feels
Lord.
like intuitively the tower itself, magic is escaping basically from the bottom up, and so like the most of the top is like the part that's collapsing. The hole actually feels like it's right where Sho and Erd are, just literally right above you guys. Um, and so um, that's like kind of the spot that's like pouring out of. But from where you're at, it feels like it's depleting from above you somewhere.
Interesting. Okay.
We're
Well,
definitely. Yeah, go for it.
well, I guess if we don't have an escape out, we go um up.
If we get to the top, we might be able to find some clever way to float back to sea. But
If we get
there's
high
not
enough,
going to be
maybe
a
we can
ground
plug a
for
hole, or
Yeah, it's
No?
not going to be ground for me to catch you if you jump off. So,
excellent. Okay.
Perfect.
would I
Um,
still have access to the rope to climb back up?
It's pulled
No.
up.
Okay.
But I do.
Use that.
You are staring up. You notice a hulking figure jump from the very top of the thing, and begin to spread its wings. Some sort of monstrosity creature begins to descend upon Tydox and Jared, and you're the only one that gets to see it. You guys feel Tydox and Jared. You feel the shadow, like it kind of darkens, but you guys are looking down at this is happening, and you hear Moro start to squeak.
Great.
I'm just gonna yell, "Look up!" Like no context. I panic and warn them.
Tedax would like. Okay. All right. Well, we have to. Okay. Up.
And then as soon as you look up, you see a gigantic owlbear, like a descendant to you, and it basically picks up you guys. Jeffrey's an apparition, so like he gets just like basically flown through as they pick up you guys. And she like goes all the way down to the bottom and then drags you guys down with her, basically. So you get like scooped up, vulture style, from the top ropes. And so you see her
Okay.
like a pedigree falcon just zooming full speed at Raven.
So we got scooped. We're now flying towards flying towards
Falling
Raven.
with style, yeah.
Falling with style, Buzz Lightyear. Okay.
I'm convinced that this thing is just flying at me, so I'm like trying to run back towards the entrance, and just again, not sure what's going on.
Yeah. You start to run out of the entrance. Tydox and Jared, is there anything you guys want to try to do while you're in this?
Oh.
The bosom of the Owlin.
How big is the bosom?
I should do
Tydox,
something.
Tydox, especially you, feel the tiniest you've ever felt inside this like owl. Like I said, it's like 19, 20 feet, like fully.
She rocking some
extended.
heavies.
Not safe for work.
Yeah, not safe for work. I'll let the audience draw pictures of what this
I
owl.
will.
Imagine this
Oh,
owl with some
God.
giant honkers, dude.
I was not
Holy
imagining that.
Yeah, I told you we broke up, guys. I was.
My goodness.
my God.
I
Jared, what were you gonna say?
don't
I'm gonna
have.
cast Bane on the creature.
Okay, good. You cast Bane. It's the opposite of guidance. The thing feels magic kind of cast at her, and she lets go of you. And so Tydox, you're still secured in her thing. Jared, you begin to descend to the ground at Mach speeds.
How far
Um,
is
this
he
point,
away from
probably
me and also like the ground?
about 30-ish feet
From me and also the
from
ground?
the ground. About you is like 5 feet or so.
Okay. And we were probably what?
60
What did we
feet
say?
in the air.
60 from the.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
You
we
guys
were
had you'd gotten a little higher because you had stabilized it. So you're probably more like 65, 70 maybe from the thing. Moro is still on the crystal, um, holding on basically for dear life. He's like, he was getting ready to like start to leave onto the thing after you told him like, hey, it's time to go. Like,
Yeah. Hey, we did great.
yeah. And so he just watches as you thing, but he's
Scooped.
yeah, he's on it.
Yikes. Okay. 30 feet. Okay. God damn it.
Yeah.
I think Tydox is gonna try to use the Thorn Whip, but I think I'm gonna try to grab the gondola
Behind you.
to try to, yeah. Because I mean, this thing just swooped down and
Yeah.
attacked us. Is what
That's
we're
where
going
I'm
with.
at.
So now
Oh,
we're
yeah.
like, oh god. So and I don't know. Actually, I'm gonna grab Jared and try to throw him towards the gondola with Thorn Whip.
Buddy.
Can you?
Okay.
Do you have any way of fucking not hitting the ground real fucking hard?
Not really. I had
didn't think
the plan
so.
of magic circle, but then I realized it doesn't work on humans, and also it has to be attached to a point on the ground.
Oh, you're gonna attach, buddy. Okay.
Go ahead and roll an attack.
Would I have time to notice? I know I'm like.
You're right away.
Okay, all right. I just want to make sure because I could do
Would
I
something, but I want to make
notice?
sure if I'm able.
You're
Roll the
right
people to
away.
die.
So, Thorn Whip is 23 for an attack.
You hit his armor class. You
Whose
lock
armor class?
in.
Mine.
Jared's.
Got a 23. Nice, man. Shit. I didn't know you were so chunky.
I had I got 13? Yeah.
You hit his armor class, so you
Alright.
catch him. Okay, to swing him up with your momentum to like where you're like caught into this thing would be nearly impossible. I'm gonna be honest. You
Yeah,
can
but
roll
not
me
impossible.
The
a
the
strength
idea
check.
is just to try to like maybe not have him hit the ground from
Yeah.
30 feet, which is
Mach speed.
1d6 times 3.
Yeah.
That's it. That's survivable.
For you?
It's survivable.
Yeah.
But you got him.
I
go
just
and roll
don't know
a
his.
strength
I didn't
check.
look at his health before we got into this scenario.
A lot
and
healthier
God,
than Ramen was.
Okay, I feel better now, but
But
not great.
Slow me
But-
down.
A worst case, 18 times 3 is still a death blow.
Yeah. All right. What am I rolling for?
Strength check.
Strength. Oh no.
It's your strength, baby.
No. So it's not a nat 1, but I did get a 2 minus 1, so it's a dirty 1.
A dirty one.
It's a dirty 1.
You try one. It's very difficult. It would have been nearly impossible for you to do this, and do it with any sort of accuracy. You begin to try to like one. You have no leverage, so you try to like leverage yourself, on this thing, and you try and you realize Jared's kind of a chunky, so like One, he's
Throw him away a lot.
yeah, and then also like the leverage of like being able to swing him. So you move him just out of momentum, but you're slowing him down. But as he gets closer to the ground, the owlet goes just above where you're like, don't hit anything, especially as the rubble's down, and she swoops up and grabs Raven at this point. Um, and so Raven, you're like running, away, and
I'm just like anime running away, just.
yeah, you get swooped up in this mess of things, and she's in her. She's caught you with her beak because she has like Tidox in her hand, um, and so you hear the noise like frat 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 frat, but you can't hear anything that because you're in her mouth. So she's like trying to say something to you, but you can't really hear what she says. Um, and she flies you guys out of it. You have one last command to Moro if you want him to do anything as he's like watching all this happen.
All right. Yeah, I'm just gonna yell
Fly, you
to
fool.
Moro. Yeah, fly, my pretties. Moro, fly back to show.
And you see him fly. He's still kind of stuck to the silky like spider web, and he grabs the rest of he grabs like the silk with one of his like paws, and it shifts the stone out of place as he like begins to pull it up with him, but he starts to fly with Shen. So you see the last thing you see as you guys, move out of the thing is him take the stone out of place as he goes. Just giving you guys enough time to like be a part of things, but you see him, take the stone with him as he flies up to the air. Who knew having a dragon was, very silly, not very smart yet, baby dragon, as he takes the stone that you'd worked so hard to put in place to give you guys enough time to escape, do all the things above, as the owlin flies out of the thing, which, you've slowed down, but the tower still is beginning to fall. Moro's like, nice, I did it, and drags it up. Show and Ert, you guys see Moro pop up with a gigantic crystal in his like paws, basically attached to the stickiest, silk web as he flies up to you and drops like, the crystal itself from far away looked like, oh, it's not that big. He pulls what looks to be like a, you know 10-15 foot like crystal, like probably weighing like 5 to 600 pounds, as this little dragon is like flopping, this thing, and it crashes into the top part of the ceiling, or like the not the ceiling, but basically crashes through all like the books and the shelves as he like, clumsily lands into it, and you see Moro basically like look at you, and then he's like trying to like get the silk off his like feet because they're like stuck, and he's like kind of flailing around over there, ungracefully.
Sho turns to Moro and kind of puts his hands on his hips, and he's like, well, we did tell you to get the crystal, so good job, buddy. And then he walks over, I think, and tries to help him get the spider webs off of him.
Yeah, and as you get closer, the crystal is insanely big. Like
Yeah.
to collect it, you could collect part of it, certainly, and it may be useful for things. But to collect the whole thing would have been an insane thing to accomplish.
Isn't
But
Ert and with the prisoners on the other side of the map or through the portal already?
not on the other side of the map, but
Oh, I mean through the portal.
yeah, you're like, you see this all happen as well too. Moro just crash into the bunch of shelves and finally get free as a show gets near him, and he has like, the giant crystal like is there, and you can certainly try to peel off some pieces of it, or what? When I say crystal, it's not like smooth by any means. It's like
Right. Show like basically like kind of just whacks at it. Just try to grab a chunk off, and then he's like, I know Tydox will kill me if I fucking leave this crystal here, so let me get a chunk of this while I'm at it.
Go ahead and roll me like an attack.
A natural 20.
Oh,
Damn.
nice.
My God.
You get 3.
Fucking princess cut diamond. One.
You get 3 pieces of this like magic crystal. That as you pull it out, I mean the magic is still like pretty much there in it.
Mm-hmm.
The crystal wasn't the problem, but like the tower itself holding on to it, it looks like this thing could be like a power source of something. But you get like 3 chunks of crystal. I can't think of like a gemstone or like unrefined like parts of it, so it's not like pretty by any means, but
Okay.
you get like
Like a
3.
quartz.
Yeah, you get like 3 chunks of it that are certainly could be useful for something.
Okay, come on, Moro. We're gonna go on a little adventure here.
Okay. And Moro, gets out of the sticky thing. He has a bunch of books on him, and he moves them around out of the way. The tower itself begins to feel like it's moments from collapsing at this point.
Yeah.
And the portal looks like it's the only way out.
I think Sho looks at and is like, "Well, I think it's time to get out of here. Let's drag him through. Come on, Moro."
All right, and Moro
And
goes.
was he's just laying on the ground. He was like, "I have no concern."
I've been here the whole time.
Okay. Come on.
All right, so you guys head through the portal, and the thing. Okay, Raven, Tydox, and Jared. Okay, you guys are out in the fresh air. You get a very good look now at the island falling apart at this point. Like, part of the jungle has now fallen. Like, it is like ever getting closer to the tower. You guys are basically like above anything. The island begins to ascend up into the air. Like it like turns and then goes up. It looks like it's about to go back into the tower with you 3, but up top in a different angle.
So just to confirm, Jared is safe.
Yeah, Jared is
Okay.
tied. He's tied on a rope, collected by. So basically, it's like imagine in her like claws or Tydox is like metal suit, like she's holding him there. Her arms are the wings, so she doesn't really have like hands. So she has talons that is like holding on to Tydox, and Tydox is holding on to Jared, and then you're being held on by her mouth, her beak.
Okay, because I had more stupid ideas if he wasn't safe yet, but
That's a
don't
new
need
thing I
to.
need to deal with.
I love that it's
Yeah.
like the 3 are just like shenanigans, like crazy thing.
The show and had their falling in a pit moment, and now we're just having
Yes.
this. But
Yeah.
Should've
okay,
done. I should have been
alright.
prepared after that.
Jared's like, I really need feather fall. Fuck.
Yeah. So, Jared, you get the best view of like everything's falling apart. The whole place is like getting destroyed. And you're like dangling upside down. Like imagine you got hooked by your leg and you're like fully upside down, just like staring. You were like feet away from like smashing your head against like the rubble and the rocks at the bottom, as the owlin has like lifted up and has soared through the like the entrance basically, and now it starts to ascend up into the air. But yeah, you have like the best view of like everything, but also you're upside down completely. I'm pretty sure you're wearing robes. Do you have pants on underneath?
Oh,
Hmm.
are they
It's a
yoga
very
pants?
important question.
Yoga robes.
I want to say he's wearing a nice pair.
Okay.
Nice pair of pants.
He's wearing
Alright.
woman's thong, bright red. Cute.
Yeah, we're not one of those uncivilized towns. People in the city, we have standards.
I
not
wanted
just
to
a
know.
tunic.
I know if you were going to be fully exposed because you're upside down, so that's what I was really.
It would be funny, but I feel like he would be wearing pants.
That's why I asked before I just put it onto your character. Um, but Tydox, you have saved Jared. He is safe. Um, but yeah, you're holding on for dear life, and if you let go
Can't
of
see
this
his
pit,
underwear.
you cannot see his underwear. You can only see his pants
His
that he has,
pantaloons.
his pantaloons. Yeah.
They're
And
very fluffy. They have little frills.
you were able to see Raven get caught and captured by this thing. Um, and so there you go. And so you guys start ascending up into the air. Do you guys want to try anything, or are you guys just along for the ride at this point?
Jared
I
has learned his lesson.
Jared has learned his lesson. I I think Tydox would.
Are any of us aware? Like, is Tydox at all aware of what Show and are doing, or is he just hoping that they? Okay, I figured,
Nope.
but I
Nope.
want. Okay.
Full faith. Yeah.
You do start to feel you are ascending up to the tower, though. You're ascending up, but on the outside of the tower.
Can I do like an Arcana check, because we are outside and we can see all this magic dwindling, to like gauge how hopeless this situation is?
Yeah. Go ahead and roll an Arcana and an Insight check.
Ooh, okay. So first, Arcana is a 19, and Insight. Where's my?
I'll let you go either way.
Oh.
Your first roll, if you want that to be the Arcana, or for the second one, you want that to be the Arcana. It's up to you.
Oh, okay. No, yeah, I mean, Insight is 16. Yeah.
Okay. So you want to go first and then second.
The higher one will be the Arcane, I think.
Okay. So Arcana, I'll start there. The magic in this world, on this thing, it feels like it's all collapsing into what appears to be nothingness. You, as you guys had entered into this place, you feel like there's some sort of property that like had been holding this thing together, while the secrets of this place are unknown. But it looks as though this island itself is moments from collapsing into complete nothingness, and this place looks like it's fixing to be lost to time. You're high enough now to see the water that was on the edges of this place have now begun to start to like almost like fill in the gaps of this island. That island itself may be lost to time forever, at the bottom of the ocean, somewhere. So it looks like the water's like, whatever magic was like holding the water back, looks like now is also depleting. And so the higher that you go, it looks like this island itself is gone, pretty much. So the magic itself is nearly out of this place, and that all of the knowledge that was here in this place looks like it will be lost to time. The insight check, on if it's hopeless or not. It
Yeah.
appears that you are flying, so as long as thing isn't looking to land and murder you and eat you, honestly, like this is like best case scenario. It is a little bit concerning that it's like flying back into the tower, or feels like it's going to a place to fly back into the tower, when you know the tower itself is collapsing. But if you put full faith in it, it may end up being good, or it could be terrible. You also know that you have two other people that are up in the tower, and if she grabbed you three, there's a good chance she's looking to grab those two as well.
Oh. Okay.
Because like, why else would she grab Raven? Is how you would feel, to be honest. But I'm not gonna tell you how to feel. But that's what the insight would tell you. Is like, logically, if she was trying to kill Raven, she would have just like, left him to die. You know.
That makes sense. Okay. Yeah, just trying to gauge and see.
But with the 16, it's 50-50 whether she's there to eat you or feels weird if she was to eat you. But
got some babies to feed.
Maybe, yeah, maybe the top of the tower is where her nest is, and
yeah. Okay. I really don't have a good. I think Tydox right now is just trying to focus on keeping a hold of Jared so that at least the three of us can stay together until we can get free of this bird. Because if we try to attack the thing carrying us above certain doom, we done fucked up. We're no Urt, so we're gonna see where this goes.
Oh,
That's crazy.
you might not be. I guess I am a nerd.
That's what I like to hear.
Jared, what do you try to do, man, as you're dangling your life over here?
Drop 50 pounds of water on it.
You know what, Jared's just gonna accept it. He's not gonna he didn't even fall on the tack.
Yeah,
I think I was gonna try, like, if anything, I'm gonna try to like reel in the thorn whip to try to get Jared closer to me so that I can at least grab him.
Yeah.
But that's I don't know what that would be, but
yeah, I think you begin to start trying to like pull him up.
Yeah.
It's certainly like an effort. You look down and you're like, all right, hey, and Jared, you definitely feel him coming up a little bit. Raven, is there anything you try to do?
I'm like a little bit bewildered, confused, but like I'm also, since I'm in the thing's mouth and I can look into her eyes, I'm basically just gonna be like, blink twice if you're not gonna kill us.
She blinks twice.
Okay.
Yeah, and she makes the same noise that you heard earlier that says fra 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 fra.
Well, I hope you're trying to say friend and not we're fried, but
we're freaked.
But yeah, so I see her blink twice and like, and I just kind of lean back and just rest a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. And so you guys kind of take in the sail, and as you guys go, you're trying to pull up Jared. Jared, you feel yourself kind of rock forward, and as she goes and turns from like vertical to horizontal, you flip, and now you're on her back. So you get flipped up onto it, and now you land on her like back, and you're like riding this thing. And Show and Urt, as you guys are going through the portal the other side, you guys see a giant, the hole in the earth, or into the tower as it's like beginning to collapse. You guys are like running in, and just as you go, you see a giant shadow, basically like Peregrine Falcon itself, into the portal, as you guys all enter the portal together. And so, as you guys go, you get one last look. You know, if you care to look back, as you guys are going, Moro's like closely behind you as he's like trying to like skip back through Show. But as you look back, you see Moro narrowly gets into the portal. The tower itself collapses fully, falls down into abyss. The portal closes behind you as you guys get into this room.
I only look ahead.
And you look ahead and you notice that you're in a room filled with books, storage. You see these guys have kind of like, they're scared. And what would have like collapsed you guys basically into the thing, the portal kind of takes you, it's one-sided in the planar system, so like you guys basically all like merge into the thing. So as you like go, Murrow comes, the Owlin comes and freaking like sails into your guys's like the back of you as you like kind of look one back, and all of you guys kind of collapse on top of each other onto these guys, and so for a split second, Ert, I'll give you a perception at disadvantage as this like Alan crashes you into it. You know, show you're looking back and seeing the tower like collapse. Moro has narrowly got into this portal. The portal collapses. Go ahead and roll me a perception at disadvantage
For what?
to see what's in front of you for the split second before the Alan crashes into you.
Oh shit. Hold on, I lost my dice. There it is. Okay, disadvantage. First one is 1.
Jesus
it.
fuck.
Second one is 5.
Either way, not great.
He's the goat.
It
I'm the
is
goat.
very hard to kind of see anything as you're like for a split second you get to see the room in front of you, and then you get trampled by like a an Owlin flying at Mach speeds to try to save everybody before the tower implodes, and you guys all crash together into this basically what amounts to like a vault or like a storage closet. That's like I described the show earlier. As you get kind of like a little bit of a look around as you're like trying to figure out what's going on, 2 of those soldiers instantly die because they're so weak. So the Owlin crashes on top of them and kills them instantly. The other 2 are like mangled and dying at this point. Especially the one that that Ert was like holding on to. It's like his like neck. That stabilized him enough that basically it's like getting hit by a train in this system, and they got like mauled as they like fly in. And so the one that you're holding his neck, imagine like a car seat, basically, and you're like holding his neck to stabilize him. He's pretty much the only one that survives like fully. The other 2 die instantly. One is like mangled and beaten and bruised, and that guy's fairly good, but he just watched 3 of his somewhat comrades die instantly. Basically 2 die instantly. One that's not doing good. And also like the portal like splices itself shut, so there's like a whole mix of that as well. As you guys like get shifted into a completely new realm halfway across the continent, which feels crazy.
Okay, is everybody all right? You guys good?
I
Think so?
think yes. Is everybody
Ert,
accounted for? Do
Jared?
we have?
I heard Raven. I heard Tydox. That was it.
Present.
I'm
Pretty
alive.
insane.
Jared, you notice Jeffrey's he's not there. You had watched him like the owl like kind of fly through him because he's like a spectacle, but a spectral being. You come to and you notice that Jeffrey's not there.
Jeffrey? Jeffrey?
You hear nothing.
I hope he's a good swimmer. Oh, he's a good runner, that Jeff. But
He's just stuck on the treadmill for all of eternity.
maybe he'll run on the water.
I got the captive in my hand, right? Still.
That's the only reason he's alive.
Yeah. So then I'm
He's
gonna.
like, yeah.
I save you, buddy.
You
So
guys
I
see
guess
the
I'm
movement
again
of the
Captain
party?
Verdant. From which one?
Yes.
You know,
Didn't see
Bear.
the movement of the party.
Oh yeah. I'm stand him up and was like, now that we saved your life, take us to your boss.
Well, let's hold on a second, or let's just you
He
got some
throw-
gun on you for once in your life, but I don't know why right now.
This dude throws up immediately from just watching. This, yeah, I'm telling you, when these two people who die instantly, they're like, imagine being spliced, all over the place, like, in science fiction, like they're like basically guts and blood,
Like
and
life
then
leak.
yeah, his other buddy is missing both his legs, like, you
My
know,
legs.
they took like the beating of
Just
the.
man, you ain't got no legs.
So he throws up immediately. He doesn't even hear. He can't even comprehend what you just said to him. This is the scariest shit that has ever happened in his life. He's just a book guy. He just collects the books. He was supposed to retire.
Morrow, you good?
Oh no.
You hear Mora like he's like in like a stockpile of like a pile of books, and you see him like pop out, um, and and he says, Mama, Mama."
Okay, good. I'm glad you're okay. And then how about you, Librarian Owl Bear? What's your name, actually?
Her name is
Susan.
Shit. Booted. Retcon. Eric died.
It is a cooler name, but we'll go Susan. Susan's fine. Sure, her name's Susan. It's not her
The
name.
owl
but
bear. I love it.
Sure, Susie. Susan looks over at you. She is fine. She's got a broken wing at this point, but she looks to be fine.
Mm.
And then she looks at Raven and says, "Friend." Finally you hear her say, "Friend."
And then not knowing like any etiquette or context that this is like a person, I'm just gonna like essentially pet her on the shoulder and just say, "Oh yeah, friend." And then
She likes it. She definitely enjoys it. I mean, she's
Um,
like, go ahead and roll me a straight charisma check as well.
okay. Not great. 6.
She likes it a little bit. Like what would have been like, oh, like this is a cute like animal. She like doesn't. She's like, what the stop it. Basically, you get this vibe that she's like, hey,
Read the room, man.
yeah. Like I'm a full grown person. So, but she looks at you and then kind of shuffles away from you a little bit, uncomfortable.
When I do that, do I notice that her wing is damaged?
You do. Yep.
Okay. Again, we'll see how she takes it. But then I'm basically just gonna like I noticed the injury, and I'm gonna pour a healing cocktail, and like present it to her, and just be like, "Here you go. This should fix you right up."
Yeah. She remembers you gave her the peppermint mocha, right? We established that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She remembers that and is feeling cloud nine on that. Still she's feeling great.
Still got ice breath.
Yeah, so she looks at it. She actually doesn't anymore. It only lasts a minute.
Oh,
But
dang.
the rest of the thing was good. She gets it and she sucks it down. Her wing magically, you see it like fix itself. Some of the like feathers are still messed up, but she looks like she can still maybe fly. You would
Okay.
assume she could probably fly still.
And then I'm gonna let you decide if that's a level 1, 2, or 3 heal.
What would you want? To heal her wing fully, where you would 100% know that she could fly. I'll say it would be a level 3 spell, where you would assume that her wing is maybe flyable, but you wouldn't really be like 100% sure.
Mhm.
I'd say be a level 2. Level 1 would like heal it, but you wouldn't be able to know if she was like able to fly or not.
Okay. Based on the fact that she just saved our life, I'm gonna go all out and give her the good stuff. So she gets the
Okay.
good whiskey, level 3.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Sweet.
See,
So
that's a nice
she
decide.
does that. The feathers that were ruffled pour back into place, like lined up. So it looks like she's eager and ready to fly, um, if called upon. Um,
Alrighty.
so the whole party looks like they're good to go. You know, everyone looks relatively unscathed outside of the two people who were completely spliced open, and blood and guts that pour over to this place.
Yeah. Those
Everyone
red
looks,
shirts, they're fine.
yeah, relatively fine. Yeah.
Like 'em.
I will I will say one more thing. Sorry, this place that you feel in feels dark. Not just like, again, not just like light wise, not like thing, but there's this like it's hard to it's hard not to feel it. So like that's why none of you guys need to roll for it. But like it's really hard to like understand. But it just feels like dark, despair, emptiness. Like versus Elysium, that feels when you guys are around, it feels like full of life and full of like um, there. Um, it's like a complete opposite effect of mycelium is like um, feels weird. It's like a not a good feeling as you're like in this place. And I will say the guy looks to be like he would have been from Elysium. Like there's no difference really between like you show and or you Jared and this guy. Like it's not like he looks any different than a regular human. Like you know, honestly, Shell, it's kind of weird, but this guy kind of looks very similar to you outside of having a scruffier beard. Um, like that you guys could have been related at some point, maybe. Not that you guys are, but like that you, as you look at him, you have this weird familiarity with him. Um,
Yeah, white person.
I actually, sorry, he actually looks more like Captain Bravebeard. Um,
Mm.
I think I said his name right. That your
Brayburn, yeah.
like Brayburn, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Um, Shell turns to the party and he's just like, I'm gonna need y'all to just trust me on this, okay? Let's not talk a lot when we get in there. Let me run it first. I'm gonna try some things out. So we'll see how it goes, but let's not fight. Start with murdering as he turns to Urt. And we're in we're in a precarious spot right now, boys. So, um, let's work as a team. And I think Show's like, do we need a short rest or anything? Or like, I just want to make sure I'm not like making you guys move too fast or
Uh,
short
I don't
resting
think
even beneficial.
I don't even think we're in a safe spot to rest.
Right. Well, I don't know.
Technically,
do we?
you guys could short rest. A short rest takes about an hour. Um, you don't really know if you're in a safe place. It's fair. I will say from the DM, like it's possible to take a short rest. Now, a long rest takes about 8 hours of time. So, the likelihood that in 8 hours that no other patrol or other thing would come through this, like who knows? I'm gonna roll for it, but you do have a hostage, so technically two hostages,
For
but
now.
one hostage is like he can't even scream, um, but his legs are
Slices through.
eviscerated, and it looks like he's like trying to yell, but like the gargled noises of being near death is like you know more of what you hear from that guy that Someone should probably put him out of his misery, but he's still technically alive.
Would anybody, I guess, will anybody actually benefit from short resting? Like, I don't benefit at all. I don't know if real people really do, I guess.
I won't.
We don't
I
have
just
any
need a few
warlocks in
minutes to.
Short rest actually gets your back your rage.
Or do
gets
they?
you-
I don't think I used one. But
I believe they come back on short rest. I think it's short and long rest. I know it's short rest after a certain level for sure.
it says
but-
long rest for me, I think.
Gotcha. I think it might be level 6 then.
I
But
just need a few minutes to heal my wounds and I'll be good. And then I'd probably just use,
Yeah, if
lay
we
on
use-
hands, to heal myself for 20 points.
oh yeah, because you stepped on that or you bleeded yourself for that.
Yup. So
If
I'm
we
just
use,
gonna-
if we do a short rest, can't we use the hit die to do that?
I
Yeah.
will say, speaking of old items, you may take a look and see if there's one that may be beneficial in a time like this. And who
There
knows? You may not
is.
fight.
Give me the crystal
But-
ball.
How bad are we? Are we that bad?
It's really spell slots and other things
Yeah.
that I would probably look at.
Is there anybody that's running low on spell slots?
I only use one
Joe,
spell.
you good?
I'm
How
good.
them
I got
fisticuffs doing?
I got all my rages. I'm ready.
Speaking to the mic. That backup mic right here.
I got all of them.
Jared and Raven, how are you guys feeling about pushing forward?
Doing okay.
I don't like sitting in one spot too long, especially when we don't know where we are.
Excellent. Well, I still have plenty of resources to keep moving forward. If anybody was wondering, it's the snow globe that we got. It simulates long rests for up to 6 creatures. We have 5 charges still, but we didn't fight. If we
Save it.
all have, thank God, or save it. I don't think we need it.
Nope.
I
I'm ready
used
to go.
1 spell slot. And I still have 35 health.
I didn't think you guys needed it. I just wanted you guys to be aware of all the options that you have.
Yeah.
All right.
All
How
right.
do you?
Let's grab No Legs here, and we can try to get him some help. And let's start getting moved.
How do you want to tackle this place? That
At
is
a
going to
show.
be.
As much as I want to go ahead first, it probably needs somebody a little bit sneakier than me, but I'll go second.
Okay, so that's a question. Are we going guns a blazing? Like, hey,
a-blazing,
we're
let's do
carrying
it.
these people? Are we going like we're gonna stealthily kind of get our surroundings? Are we going in it like, hey, we got a hostage? Like anybody try to kill us? Like, we'll kill
Well,
this guy.
Captain,
I don't want to do any of those things, and I would like to parlay.
parlay.
Okay, so
What? Wait. Can I interject?
I'll give you. You guys have time
Sweet.
to think and talk.
Okay.
So
But as a
as
we
players, feel free to talk.
Okay. Also, we flew in through the portal that they were putting books and knowledge through.
Right, that's what. So I'm not sure if the librarian and you want to look around right now while we're resting,
very
or
much.
Yeah, I think that would be worth it.
shovel as much stuff in the bag of holding as we can, or
You put the librarian in the bag of holding.
Run around with a fucking butterfly net of the bag of holding.
You would-
Because
be able to carry
we're not
some
going to do
stuff.
that. But yes, I think we can try to. I don't want to split the party, but if Raven,
just know you're in hostile territory. Like splitting the party. Normally I don't want to interject. You guys can
Yeah.
certainly split the party. Splitting the party is almost certain death for sure for at least one or two of you guys. So
But like if we're yeah, don't we're not doing that. But I mean like in this room of like maybe Tydox and if Raven wanted to look around, but now we have a little bit of downtime. We could take a air quotes short rest, use hit dice to get our hit points back. It doesn't get any resources back really, but that also gives Ert some time to maybe communicate with this Owlin person who might know how to get your wings back. Or there's a book in here that we could try to search for, or if there was any other fun pieces of
yeah. So I mean
trinkets
that's
we gathered.
basically. Are you guys trying to leave this room immediately, or are you guys gonna sit and maybe look around a second, or what's the
So
vibe?
here's what we're gonna do. I'll go ahead and stand guard, watch by the door. You guys spend about 30 minutes exploring all the stuff you need to find.
About an hour.
In
Around
about
an
an hour.
hour.
Perfect.
I that sounds wonderful with all these books and things around. It has to be something rather important in here. And uh, show Captain. How do we know this owl?
Shapton.
She got stabbed by that guy, and he points at the mycelium soldiers, and he's like, and she's the librarian, so I assume she can probably help you out with all this stuff. So she's probably gonna be your new best friend, I would think. And then show also those like, okay, can you give me a rundown on how these stones work again for us to communicate?
Oh,
Like, is it instantaneous, or is it like you pick up the stone later and you find the message?
I think that's more what we
Yeah,
have
it's
determined
like a
it was.
Okay, okay. Okay, never mind. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. That's
It's
what
like
I just needed
R2D2
that for.
droid.
It
Okay.
is a
Perfect.
R2. It is an R2D2 droid.
Okay, okay.
I'm not-
Perfect.
And you get 25 words when you
Okay.
when you speak into it.
Because it's a visual effect including up to 25 words of text. So
Okay.
visual. If
Okay.
you had to decrypt something, you could like have the picture of the door and say, "This big door is locked from the other side. Open it," or something.
Okay. So that's good to know. So,
Okay. So
shows.
collectively, I want to know what you guys are doing in this season. Okay, and then I'll have all of you guys are gonna roll for something, and I'll talk about what happens. Okay. So, Earth standing watch.
Mhm.
Is there only one door, one entrance?
It appears to be one entrance, as far as you can tell, as you're looking at it. So you're standing guard. Tydox is looking for books.
Yeah,
what
maybe
is
information.
Raven, Jared, and Show doing to help with this like thing?
I am
Follow-
also looking
ahead.
at books.
Okay. So
With
okay.
with a note that I am specifically looking for books that cover like apothecary or like some the similar magic stuff I talked about last episode, where I'm trying to
Mhm.
figure out how to remove this abyssal energy from us.
Jared and Show.
Shell's looking for any books in Draconic, basically.
Jared is gonna massage his feet, but also keep an eye out, keep a watch out.
Okay.
Yo, wait,
Jared.
before- The only
Yeah.
thing I do want to say is I do want to use. I don't know. I'd probably wait like 10 minutes or so, but I do want to use my divine sense just to see as a guard. I want to just to see if there's anything popping up. You know what I'm saying?
Nice. Yeah. Read Divine Sense for me one time.
As an action, you can detect good and evil until the end of your next turn. You can sense anything affected by the Hallow spell or know the location of any celestial fiend undead within 60 feet that is not behind total cover. You can use this 4 times per long rest.
So everything within this room would be fair game for you. Okay. Anything outside of this room, because it's behind total cover, you would not be able to notice or see. Okay.
Well, it
So
depends on what's outside the room, because I can't see what's outside the room, right? I should be able to.
no, you can't see what's
Behind
outside the room
cover.
because it's behind total cover. Because the door's shut, you'd have to like open the door and then maybe like look around something and see around. So I'm just letting you know. Just kind of wanted you to read it before I just
Okay.
gave you the rule on it.
Well, then I will
Um,
be listening outside the door, though.
you can still use it to see if there's anything inside. It may be helpful for you.
I'd still use that. It's a
Well,
good,
yeah, I
But
mean,
good idea.
I got 4 charges, so I'm gonna use it.
Yeah,
okay,
it's a
And
good idea.
if that's the case, if the door is closed, I am gonna be like standing close to the door, but listening, kind of ready though by the guard, kind of like back against the wall, like with my sword, like kind of posted up, like what's up, all
so
cute and shit.
again, for all those that wonder, good and evil. Okay, it's not necessarily morality, but it is
Yep.
celestial and abyssal. So you inside this room, okay, and you see undead, abyssal, fiend or anything like that. But inside this room, um, you notice again, all of you guys are covered in abyssal energy, um, like smothered in it, basically. Um, the Owlin is head to toe, glows beyond measure in celestial energy. Um, you are in the presence of what feels to be a god, um, a deity of some sorts. That it is not
And
just some
she's evil.
simple, no, celestial.
She's
Um,
evil.
it could
Stop
be evil morality, but um, it is some sort of celestial god has like impacted any sort of thing on her. Um, and the soldier that you're near feels also abyssal, but you can't put your finger on what it is necessarily. But some sort of abyssal energy is kind of like radiant around him. Okay, so good to know. Um, Ert and Jared, we'll start with you. Can you guys both roll me a perception? And then the rest of you guys roll an investigation. Um, one of you can roll with advantage. The owl can only help one of you guys.
I rolled a 17.
it.
I could use that advantage.
Go for it. I don't need it.
I also don't need it.
Much better. 18.
Okay, 17, 18. Tylox, would you roll?
Oh, sorry. 17 plus 8. Math.
25. Very good. Ert and Jared, what'd you guys roll on your perception? It is equally as important.
I got
12.
a solid 9.
Look, my feet are tired. I got a massage them. It was
I'm
a
a
long
horrible
time
guard.
up.
I don't know why you guys let me guard
So,
anything.
both of you guys.
I don't know why we ever let you do anything.
It sucks. It was a 13 was the DC to pass. That's tough.
And the name Bond?
Oh yeah.
You're probably
how
coming
long-
up on like the last minutes of that.
How long does it last? I'll tell you if
It
you
lasts 10 minutes.
would be
So-
it would be up at this point, unfortunately. That would have
Yikes.
been good. Well, Jared wouldn't have got it anyways. I think he was the closest one.
Yeah, Jared would have got that. I probably wouldn't have
Jared-
got it unless he got.
He got a 4. Was all the things that he needed. Okay,
I'm one short of that check.
so the time that it takes you guys to before something happens is shortened. Okay, so instead of finding 3 books, you're able to kind of look for 1 book. Okay,
A piece or like
a piece, a
Okay.
piece. Except for Raven, who has the help of the Owlin. You get 3 books. Okay.
Dope.
The rest of you guys found the investigation is pretty good though, so the 1 book that you find is gonna be worth it. Okay. Versus finding like 3 books that would have been worth it with a high investigation. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to start with show. You're looking for what exactly? You said some book with Draconic. There's probably a ton of books with Draconic. What exactly are you wanting to look for?
Um, History of the Dragons.
Perfect. Okay. You find uh, an older book. Um, some of it's written in common, which you can't read.
Mhm.
Um, but you
Ironic.
see this book has the symbol of the dragon. It's very clear that some sort of, as you go and read the title basically, um, you can't really
See how it
understand it
goes.
because it's common, okay? But you can make out some of the words um, have to do with dragon riders. Um, and that this history goes back far beyond, you know, almost like this book is like really big, really dusty, really like the paper itself is really old. So it looks like it's, you know, could be one of the first books that was in this like library. Um, you know, whenever
Be
this was
right back.
built. Um, and so this book is very, very old. You would need to take longer time to actually sit and read it. But this book is about uh, dragon riders.
Okay.
Um,
I will once I grab it, I'll just stick it into Tydox's bag of holding so I know it's safe and out of the way.
okay. Tydox with a 25. Okay. Very good investigation. What exactly are you looking for?
Um, I think Tydox would have tried to find um anything on like the not necessarily the magic tech, but kind of like technologies or any information on mechanisms that have been lost to time or that are so secretive that kind of thing.
You
Curious
find,
about.
yeah, you find a two-part book. It is a book. Um, it catches your eye. Um, it talks of this like ancient city in the sky. Um, as you're looking at it, you're seeing this like uh, the way they were able to. Let's just say the two-parter. You know, this city was so advanced that it lived in the sky. Sky city above, the world, and talks about this, you know, this city itself and the king of the city. It tells a story. You can't really tell if it's fiction or nonfiction, but from what you're reading about it, it feels like this is like a real story. Like it's not just some kid's book. Like that. That's to say, you can't really tell if it's real or not. Like it may be, but as you like dive deeper into it, you're like you start to remember that like, oh, someone had talked about this city, like a city like this, um, and this city, talks about like in this history as you're like kind of reading. You would need to go through it a little bit more to really like get it, but like the summary of it um, is this two-part that was way beyond its time, uh, magically, mechanically. And it was the only reason that it was to elevate itself above the clouds. Um, and that some say that the city, again, you need to dive deeper into it, but some would say that the city is like still around. But you are to hear of a city in the sky. Okay.
Oh, let's see.
Um, the name of the city
Oh, more information.
is called Ruach.
Right.
Aruga.
Ruach.
Like Richard Nixon.
Okay.
Okay.
Dope.
The city, you've never, somebody who is in history, you've never heard of the city before. It has never come across any history book. Like, This knowledge, to know this knowledge with a 25, to know this knowledge of the name of the city, that's what makes you feel like it can't be real. You know, is like you're like, oh, I've studied history a bunch. Like, why would I not know
Yeah.
this? Like, I would have heard of a city in the sky. This isn't true. You know, but with a 25, the name Ruach comes across of the land in the sky. And like I said, it's two part. It talks about a lot of show. You see pictures and like diagrams, and with the 25, it's really good. You see a lot of thing.
Okay.
Raven.
Mm-hmm.
You
Thank you.
find you can find three things because you got the help of the Outland,
Mm-hmm.
the librarian, because she kind of knows what's around and what you're looking for. So you kind of ask her what you're looking for, so you can answer three questions and to see this vast knowledge of collected information, what all would be there.
Okay, so the first thing I want to ask about like is if she knows of like a kind of potion or concoction that can remove abyssal energy from an entity.
Okay. So the first book you find is like an alchemist like diary. Um, this book, the first thing you see is, you know, elven scholar who played with demons, and he had spent a lot of time around them, um, and he was trying different like medicine or magic or like to kind of relieve curses,
Mm.
but he had no luck finding it in his area, but he did make significant breakthroughs in the like that's how his name's in history. Again, it'd be something that may be worth reading more about. Um, in this book, though, you discover the ingredients of potions that, like, not necessarily of like healing abyssal magic, but like um, basically getting curses away from the party, like itself, like things that like like garlic to vampires, like would get them away.
Mm.
Steaks and wound hearts, like you start to discover some of those things that like ward off demons from your presence. And you start to notice that, hey, I can make some potions that would ward some demons away from us. uh, the book itself, it's a diary. You see the drawings as you would have to sit there and look through it more. But one of
Mm-hmm.
the biggest things you notice with this diary is that the language becomes unattainable. As he gets further into it, it goes from like Elvish to like some sort of language that you don't speak.
Okay.
And it it just continues in that pattern, and you would have no idea what it looks like unless you were to ask somebody. But the language itself looks to be some sort of different language.
Okay. Can I? Is
Uh,
this? Can I keep this book so that
yeah.
if okay, so I could potentially maybe learn the languages over time. Okay. Um.
The way I will do languages also mechanically, like
Yeah.
if you take the time to like sit and read it, um, and you find somebody who can help you read it or who knows it, then you can learn it yourself. If you take the time to do it. Oftentimes languages are like, oh, I have this or whatever, but I like the idea that you like have put the work in to kind of learn a new language,
Mm-hmm.
um, or you're magically gifted a language by a
Dragon.
elvish deity.
Yeah. Okay. So
So that's one. You got two
yes,
more.
for the second book, I'd like to learn if there is a basically a variation of Gree that would allow me to do animals from a different biome.
Yeah.
Okay. As you're going, you don't find anything on Gree. That's a weird like phrasing,
Yeah.
like. But as you're going on it, you do find more. I mean, you're kind of like digging through, like the owlet's like helping you through like the alchemic like section of books that it's her life's work, so she's like has put this together. Um, so she's able to find another like tome, a druidic tone, a Judaic tone, which is like a letters or spells or things like that from like an elvish druid. Um, and in this book, it talks about um, like being one with nature, and that the magic from druids comes from nature and comes from this something you remember Jared kind of talking to you about before, that like, hey, your magic's different than what my magic would be, and even what Aldara's magic is. You begin to see this like she talks about nature and how nature, and when you become one with nature, you can add ingredients together to like formulate something. It just has to come from that land,
Gotcha.
the ingredients to build about what you need. Um, and in this thing, you see some of the ingredients that she has like discovered when it comes to wild shape, and how to like transform. You see some of them, and if you were to collect them and add them to your drink, you would one get more gree, but two, be able to transform into new things. So some of the environments that she's been a part of is the desert
Okay.
and the snow biome. Two things that are important that you need to find is like a lily into the snow biome. It's a rare lily that um, blooms only in like the mountaintops, basically,
Uh-huh.
is what she talks about. And in the desert, you're looking for some sort of like bug, like a beetle. That she was able to add into it and was able to turn into a bunch of like desert like animals. So it's like a rare, you know, pyramidal beetle.
Okay, so basically, I have like the recipes, and those are the things I need to find to unlock
You found
those.
the basic formula
Yeah.
for like what she did. She didn't call it gree. She calls it some sort of magic. Like,
Hmm.
when I take this drink, I get together, I can turn into different animals. I've found, that by adding this, it's pretty consistent in the wilderness and the woods. When I added these ingredients, I was able to expand my repertoire.
Yeah.
If you read
Okay.
further, you may get some more information on this. One more question of books.
Yes. So I am going to pull out the and show her the eye from the witch, and I'm trying to see, does she understand what it is, or can she help me try to figure out how to essentially use it, because it's been on me, but I since it was ripped from Ramon's eye, I don't exactly know
Mhm.
what to do with it.
Yeah. She says, "Are you sure?" To you, it's the Owlin as she looks at you. Uh, this cost, like she stares at it, and she knows exactly what to do with it. She asks if you're willing to pay the price.
Um, yeah, and I
If
guess
you,
I would ask her like, what is the price?
uh, yeah, she says an eye for an eye.
Hammurabi's code.
um,
Uh,
could I essentially like through the third book gain the knowledge of how to use it? Like I don't want to like activate it right now, but just at least have that knowledge so that.
yeah. So you ask her like, "Hey, how do I use this thing?" She looks at you and says like, an eye for an eye, and you kind of look at her puzzled and you say, "No, can I find a book that has anything to do with it?" So she then goes and searches. She finds the other two. It's in like a whole different section as she like walks over.
Mhm.
Um, you find like a demonic curse, a book of demonic curses. Um, think of like Skyrim or Oblivion, like the Daedric artifacts.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, you find this book that this guy basically talks about how he was swindled by some sort of person. Um, you know, very similar to what you remember of the frog witch, who
Mm-hmm.
the witch turned into frogs. Something similar catches your eye, and that's why this book kind of is drawn to you. Um, you have this similar story of like, she asked a question and I answered, and then she took something from me, but I gained the sight and the knowledge of, you know, more than I could have ever asked for.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then he goes on and talks about other stories that he's heard of encounters like this with other people who had to give up something but were able to gain immeasurably more than. And again, you need to read more, but basically this book is a book of um, essentially Daedric artifacts. Like they had to go through something, give something to receive something, and this gift was something that was far beyond their power. Um, with an 18, it's your last book that you looked at.
Mm-hmm.
Every one of these gifts comes with the cost. Story after story after story. You read these, you're unfamiliar with what's happening, but you do realize that every one of them is a cost. There's a cost to it.
Okay.
Um, Playing with demons is never a fair trade.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Um. Cool. Yeah. I'm gonna hold on to all three of those books so I can read them more later.
There's plenty of other books. You guys have been searching. Nothing really else catches your eye. However, Ert and Jared, you hear footsteps coming. You hear people on the outside who are like, "Well, they should be back by now. What's taking them so long?" As people begin to approach the doors. I don't even know if Ert's here. Oh, there he
I
is.
am after hearing that. Sorry, I'm stretching my back. It felt good. I've been sitting all day. After hearing that, I would probably try and like relay to the group. Careful, guys. We have people coming. And then get ready just in case. And then I think what Captain Ur would do was just he'd still be kind of stay posted by the door, but kind of ready to fight.
Okay.
And then I don't know what everybody else is gonna be doing.
Oh, uh, that's fine.
There's no one
Show
out there.
Show would turn to the soldier. There's one alive soldier still, right?
Yeah, the one that you guys was bleeding out is dead now.
Okay.
You guys look over back at him to like, hey man, like, are you still? And he's fully dead. He's gargled, choked on his own blood.
Deserved.
Uh, you guys waiting, 30 minutes to, as you search for books and stuff, killed him. I'm
He
sorry.
hurt Susan, so he deserved that.
Yeah.
Show turns to the. I think there's still though like one alive
One,
though, right?
one that
Right.
is alive. Yeah.
And says, "Go answer the doors for them, for your boys over there."
Okay, and he's shaking. Um, he goes up to the door, and then they say, Roger, what are you? What's taking so long? And where's the rest of your crew? Roger, uh, uh, we're just cleaning up in here. That's it. He's like looking down. Cleaning up, you say? Why would you need to clean up? It's just a mess. The boss don't care how it looks. Come on, let's go get a drink. Um, and then Roger looks down, looks at you, Show, uh, and says, I'll drink another night. Maybe, um, maybe have 5 beers on me. Um, have a fun night tonight. And The guy says, 5. A light night tonight. All right. Well, we'll see you at the hole. Um, and he walks. You see them continue to walk away. And Roger turns and, um, is scared, closes the door.
Mm, right. Well, you did a pretty good job there, Roger. Um, are you guys ready to head on out? Get your fill of books.
Ready and willing.
It is a shame to leave all of this behind, but I feel like we do need to get moving.
The Owlin is like locked in on like putting the books back together. Like she's organizing the books at this point. They're all in like completely different like sections. You see that she's like deeply hurt by what they've done to it. You see some of the books weren't handled right either. I like I said before is like a lot of the work that you've like put in, and to watch that your whole life's work is now like gone, and this is all that's left of it for her. She's like broken and they've handled it completely wrong, so she's like trying to organize it again. Some of the books are like torn up that were like old, and so like even just handling it improperly like has like ruined it, and so she's like deeply hurt and trying to like you see her kind of frantically like moving, and her wings have like come down as she's trying to like grab it. Her wings are her arms. She has hands on the end of her wings, but yeah, you see her. She's like trying desperately to like recover any of the books, and some of the books she's like crying over. You see softly as like they're slightly ruined, and then she just like begins to like organize this place. She's insanely distracted if you're trying to like communicate with her at this point.
Did for clerical reasons did Show really give the book to Tydox to put in the bag?
Mhm.
Okay. Raven, are you keeping your books or are you putting them in the bag? You don't have to. I mean, you can keep them if you want.
Yeah, I like to travel light. If you're, I
Put
would
'em in the bag?
I would have seen her put it in the bag as well. So.
Do we have anything else for the bag?
Well, I guess we'll find out here in a second. Shell goes up to Susan, because apparently that's her name.
Neat name.
And
It's really not her name, but it's okay. I guess
We like
cool
Susan
idea.
though.
go up to Susan, and he's like, Susan, we're gonna head on out here. Are you gonna join us, or are you gonna stay here with your work?
Uses books organize books organize messy master beat master, and then you just see her like more and more like even more stressed at this point.
Show kind of reaches out and puts like a hand on her wing and is like, there's no master anymore. I looked back in that portal and that tower's gone. You're not bound to anything. I know what it's like to be caged up like that. And you now have freedom. If you want to come with us, we'll let you do whatever you want.
Freedom. And she like cocks her head like that word doesn't even register to her. She can't even understand what to have this much knowledge and to not even like comprehend the idea of freedom.
Freedom, yeah, like, when you flew around and you caught Tydox and Raven and Jared, and you can fly anywhere you want to go. You don't have to stay with us. But I know that if you stay in this room, they're gonna hurt you again. And I would hate for that to happen.
You mentioned, going outside, and she says, leave, leave. Not supposed to leave tower. And she's like, you see, she's like, frantic but sad. That save them, save them. Did must.
Hmm. Well, well, Susan, you've already left the tower. We're not there anymore.
Oh,
Um, so you've already taken that first step, really. Um, so I think if it's okay with you, I think it would be best if you could follow us.
Yeah, you see her cock her head. Give me a persuasion check.
Hmm. 13 total.
She nods her head and says, "Follow, friend, follow." And then, um, sad, like very sad. She sets a book down, um, and like puts her hands like together. At this point, like I said, she's like a hulking, like 18, 20 feet tall, like thing. Like she's down to like, a normal, like I say normal, but still like 8, 9 feet. Like as she's like hunched over, in full on like old librarian, like. But you see, she like collapses her hands together and looks kind of small and frail, um, as she nods to follow you.
Um. Okay. Um. Uh. Okay, you guys ready? Roger, I assume you know the way around this place.
Um, yes, of course.
And Tydox, I'm shocked that hasn't asked about it yet, but what's the blinking ball situation?
uh, what, um, it doesn't appear um, that it was functional the last time I tried to infuse it into that sword, but and then I think I would be shuffling around in the bag because didn't we said that that's what we did with it, right? We infused
Yep.
it into the sword, right?
The orb no longer has power, but the sword itself now has the power of the thing that Urt carries. So, if you pull out the orb, which if you kept it, you would see that it
Yeah,
shows nothing. That it's basically
Well,
out
I
of
guess
power.
the sword. Does have this? Because
because
Has the other sword. So does he have both swords? Or
Yeah, I think he has a
he,
collection of swords on his
yeah, he
body.
has like 4 swords, I think.
Yep.
Yeah. So Urt pulls out. You talk about this sword. Urt, if you care to pull out the sword, I will tell you if it's blinking or not.
Can't you just see it blinking?
Is it in its sheath
usually sheath.
or
I guess it just depends on the sheath. Alright, I'll pull out the sword.
as you begin to pull it out, it is blinking very heavily. That the magic item that you guys are looking for is in this building.
Hmm.
May not be in this room, but it is in this building for sure.
um. Roger, you know where they're keeping the Well, so you brought all that stuff from the tower to this room. Was anybody else bringing anything special? Maybe out and see anything like under real wraps?
I I was just meant to carry the books. They did the mission earlier. I just we were cleaning up the extras. That's it. I don't know. There wasn't anything fun when we found. We looked around. They said whatever we found we could keep, but it was just books.
Mm. You got any sort of mm, like, do you have a high priest here in Mycelium? Do you have like where would they keep it? I guess I don't know where they would keep a relic
Yeah.
at. Do they have a version of like Joseph? I guess is what I'm trying to ask. or like
Make a check.
the arcane library, or like the mages guild, or like that type
Yeah.
of
Make a
Yeah.
church.
You ask, if you have some sort of high priest or something, and he looks at you like confused at even the idea of like a priest in this place. And then he kind of levels with you a little bit, and he tells you, because he's so afraid of you. Um, he levels with you and is like, um, he kind of is shocked. He's like, "Can you not, basically, can you not feel this place? By the gods." And then he like stops, as if even speaking the words would immediately obliterate him. Is this idea like? But whatever, however much afraid of you he is, whatever is here is way more afraid of than you. So even speaking the words of this thing, um, he basically is like, no, I'm not even gonna, like, if you can't feel it, if you don't know what's happening, I can't even speak it. Um,
um
and then you ask about like a treasury room or like a mages guild or something, and he looks at you weird and he says, all I know is anything that was of note goes to the king.
Well then, take me to the king.
And even those words terrify him. The idea of going to the king, he's like, you don't want that. Uh, but if you must, I can't. I won't stop you. You know, but you asked for this, is what he says. Okay. So Roger begins to sheepishly get you guys out of the way.
Do we leave all this information for someone else to find? Susan?
She's like, this this information in the wrong hands, you would just know from a base insight, is treacherous.
Yeah.
Do what we do best. Burn it to the ground.
Raven?
Yeah.
Do we?
Well,
do we? How much do we love time constraints on our exploration mission?
We've come out on top every time, and the bad
fortress
guys
is
usually
probably
end
not
up in
as
the fire.
flammable.
Fortress? Yeah, it's not like you're gonna set off an alarm or anything, or people be like, "What the fuck is a fire doing in here?"
Well, say, fire will be very noticeable, but you guys do whatever you want. I'm not saying it's a bad idea, because getting this information into the wrong hands is also bad. So, you do with that information as you want.
Well, I am fully willing to keep all of this stuff out of bad hands. Found some pretty good stuff myself. So, what do you think, Cap? I know we can't take it with us.
Well, how about this instead? Jared, could you summon your water and we can destroy it that way instead of fire? We don't always have to light everything on fire, boys.
Ooh.
Yeah, but fire's more fun.
Now this water does come with several pounds of food.
Well, I'm hungry, so it works out.
Well, we can grab some snacks for the road.
Can I freeze everything?
Snacks.
Trying to see, because that's a level 3
Yeah.
spell. That's a 3rd level spell to do that.
The casting the water and food.
Yeah. I would
Oh.
like a cheaper
I'll be-
way of doing that.
I'll be right back. You guys keep talking. I'll be listening.
I mean, we have hands.
Because it would if we
Book's
soak
about to get these
everything,
hands.
and then
What?
if we soak everything and then Ert freezes it,
Okay,
then we can shatter.
let's sidebar this for a second here, and you boys know me. I want to approach things a little different right now. Roger, he's scared shitless though. Apparently, of this king man. Obviously, I'm not very smart, and I don't really get it, cause these people are this abyssal woo-woo magic. But Yosef's abyssal woo-woo magic. Jared's abyssal woo-woo magic, right? Everybody's just abyssal woo-woo magic. I don't understand why this guy... Oh, you're shitting your pants right now, Roger. Like, what the fuck? So, do you guys want to go out this stealthily? I had to break it to you, but... Show points at Ert. He is not stealthy for anything. Points at Tydox. You're not stealthy for anything. Jared, flat out, you're just lazy. You'll probably not want to crouch that long. And Raven is the only one who would be with me. So I don't know what to do here, boys. Like, let's be honest. So I do want to
Moral is sad.
Yeah, I do like Moro, and then quite frankly, Moro, I don't know what happened. I know you're growing into your body, but you're in your gawky teenage years. It's not looking great for us right now. I'm gonna be honest. This owlbear is 9 feet tall, so I don't know.
Yeah, right.
Moro, when you say gawky teenager, he like tilts his head to the side, and then he spits out a little bit of fire in this thing, but not enough to like burn anything, but just like basically like bursts the fire. Like, hey, I'm not a squawky teenager. Like, what do you mean? And he's a large, very large dragon. Just like not a very large dragon, but like like a little bit smaller than Ert. As you're looking at him, like,
Yes,
what do you
well,
mean?
You're
What do you
still
mean?
growing into your limbs. That's all right. It happens to the best of us. I can remember when I was gawky like that too. So don't be nothing ashamed of. But so the way I see it is maybe water's not going to work for Jared. I understand that. We can have Moro light the room on fire, maybe cause a distraction while we try to move out of the castle. We have had some issues with fire. I'm going to be honest with you all. So we can do that. We can try doing stealth, or we can try talking to the guy. And I'm of the mind of maybe trying to ration off our 2 relics and kind of get some information.
Auction off your relics. That's a good idea too. That's all right. So what do you guys end up doing?
So are you proposing that we try to join mycelium? Or are we just trying to barter our safe passage off this island?
I'm not in particularly interested in joining anything, Tydox. So it would just be temporary, the way I see it. I think we can always come back here. We know where it is. But we have a lot of missing information in my books. What I would like to find out right now is if we can find out if these people are the ones who actually killed King Leonault, because we still don't know who killed him. Quite frankly, I would love to know who put us up for that murder, however that may be. So maybe I'm a little tunnel vision right now, but I would love to know if mycelium actually did that or not. And if I can auction off these 2 relics for that, then I'll do it. So
Susan said these guys took my wings. I want to talk to the king.
that's true too.
I say we burn the books, make a
Jesus.
scene, and then go straight to the king and show them that we have the relics. I like your plan, then we'll double cross the double crossers. Peek.
That's
as
why
a
she's
clear
my
point.
captain, and she's
Yeah.
not.
Hashtag
Run
not
it
my
all over the ground. Not my captain.
Hashtag not my captain.
Yeah.
As a point of order, we have a the spider heart as a relic? What are our two? What are our two
The
Point
MacGuffins?
of order.
Drider,
The Drider heart.
The Drider heart was
and
covered with
then
thorn. The horn of Valhalla um, is what you have that was stabbed inside the brood mother. The other thing is the shield that you got from Mimir. Okay.
Okay.
There's 5 that are unknown. Um, but
We would we auction both of them, or would we
you don't have to
give one
auction
as a down?
anything.
Would we give one as a down payment? So
Well, yeah,
if
we don't need to reveal our whole hand. We'll just do one.
I say we keep Mimir's shield. Well, you said it was the horn.
Horn of Valhalla.
horn is the horn of Valhalla, but it was shoved in the brood mother's heart. And the other one is called the Shield of the Hidden Lord. Um,
Okay.
These are the only 2 I'm going to tell you the actual names of. But so I'm going to keep the rest of it secret. But I kind of spoiled a little too much because I've never told you guys the actual names of them yet. But
Right.
don't look them up.
Oh. Oh boy. Okay. Yeah, because if we do offer one as kind of like a bargaining chip, and we keep one with us, so that if we do run across, Yosef, who has the power to pop up anywhere he wants, we can still say that we have one.
I think that's a good idea, Tydox. But okay, I'm gonna lay it out maybe a little simpler. I think we have 4 options. One is to get the hell out of here stealthily, not going for the relic. Just get the hell out. I assume that's probably what Jared's gonna vote for, but let me know. The second one is to stealth out of here and try to get the relic while stealthing out. We're not very good at that, but it's an option, right? Just fight a way out if we don't get there. 3 is to go direct to the king and try to get some information. And 4 is Ert's method of just fucking murdering everything, apparently. So, what do y'all think here?
I'm
I mean-
hesitant to
I mean-
agree with the stealth option, but it does seem like it's the best bang for our buck. Because if it fails, then we divert to one of the other options that involves the violence or the running.
I'm not
Okay.
keen to
What-
give up the things we've earned.
We gotta go
So-
down a level.
So 2 for stealth. Then, do you want to go for the relic? Or Tydox wants to go for the relic, or no? Yeah. No.
I think these
Yeah.
relics are a prison, but they might also be the key to getting out of this mess.
We did get in here rather easily. To waste an opportunity like this might be silly.
Right. So, that's 2 for stealth relic. I'm taking it.
I just want
Okay.
to say, rude that you assume stuff about me, even if it's right.
Even if it's right.
Sorry. I'm
just
sorry,
saying,
Jed. You tell me what you think.
I'm just saying, I have a career. I hope I have a career still back at home. I took a lot. I built up for a lot of years. I'd like to try and keep that career. So I'm going to opt for getting the relic and getting out of here.
Well, I think that's a winner then. 3 for stealth relic. You got anything to say?
Nah.
Nah.
Right. So stealth and the relic. So do you guys leave the library or the books alone,
Um,
or do you burn it on your way out?
Mm, part of me thinks it might be a good distraction, but it's also could be another
Could be,
fire.
could be a good distraction. Could piss off a lot of really strong
Yeah.
people.
We love
Delicious. Oh, sweet.
fire.
We also love pissing
And
people
we
off.
hate knowledge.
We
It
didn't
would-
get
it
in
would
the
be-
way of the battle between the queen and that angry short guy, and we, by choosing not to get in the way, we got out of that alive.
Got the F out of the way.
And 2 of our people were very close to that situation.
Yeah, but not dead.
So,
And we're gifted with some incredible things.
I have a feeling that these books will be fought over for a very, very long time. So we don't need to decide the ultimate fate of them.
Oh, I mean, they'll probably just get forgotten about in this room like they were forgotten about in that tower, probably.
You say that, and Susan is like, forgotten? I read them every day, basically.
Did
I
anybody
read
else read them
everything.
besides you, Susan?
Fuck you, Susan.
You say that, and she like looks down. I'm like, no, but I read them. I
Wow,
devoted.
I'm glad
I
you devoted
devoted
your.
years to this.
Mhm. I'm fine with just
I think
leaving them, I guess.
I think it would be a fun distraction too.
Okay.
It might give us just the chaos we need to follow the blinky sword and quickly get what we need and get out of here. And who knows? Maybe we set more along the way.
I mean,
Okay.
Brother,
I hate to agree, but we do thrive in chaos.
well,
Oh,
Moral?
back to Earth.
light them up.
All right. And with that, Mora begins to burn this place to the ground. As you guys walk away, all cool style, Roger is like, when you've already had a really bad day and your day gets worse,
Yeah.
that look of
Yeah.
just like, you get home after a long day of like your day sucking and you're just like, wow, the rest of the day is going to suck more. Yeah. Fuck, yeah.
Yeah, he was like, well, fuck.
Yeah, as he does that, and he looks absolutely terrified. As a group, I will say the fire does give you advantage. As a
Working
group,
already.
all of you guys roll stealth with advantage if you're trying to sneak through this place.
Even me?
You.
I think it's just normal.
Here's your
Yeah.
normal. Tydox, I think
I-
your normal's out because you're.
Oh wait, I got a nat 20 on that shit. Holy crap.
That's correct. There's not. We haven't talked about this, but there's a whole nother mechanic for the artificer's suit. But
Does it say camouflage or anything on it?
no. It's the infiltrator, which is completely not anything we've talked about. So, oh god, I guess it doesn't even matter. I got a 19.
No.
Yeah, I
Oh,
got
I'm sorry.
22.
I got an 18 because I got a -1.
What does the infiltrator do?
I think it takes a rest. So I don't think I can do it right now. But it makes it more stealth oriented. Like everything about the suit changes. The thunder gauntlets go away. I think it would be a pain in the butt. I think we should think on it for later, not right now, because this is not a situation where I can just like jump in and out of it. But
I'm sure we'll
Yeah.
need to sneak somewhere eventually.
Eventually, it'll come up.
yeah, but that's maybe.
I got a 7, so I failed.
7. It's a group one, so
With advantage?
Oh, with advantage on the.
You get advantage, yeah.
You get
Oh.
advantage, yeah.
I got a 15.
15. We got a nat 20, right, on somebody.
I did.
Mm-hmm.
You say that with, oh, yours is base.
Yeah, mine was
Um,
base. I got a base not 20.
Jared, what'd you
So
get?
22.
Nice. Show got 15.
15.
Raven and um, Tide Ops.
18.
18. And then Raven,
12.
where's yours? 12. Yep,
You started
majority
off strong.
passes. So
Damn.
majority passes. You guys collectively kind of sludge through. What's really cool about the island is she passes all stealth checks. So she's, like a night owl. So it's cool. She's cool. Um, so she passes. Roger, he passed as well. Just because he's sleuthing through this place as well. As you're walking, you feel, kind of as you're like looking around, stealthily, you're able to kind of see some things. People in the background have now noticed the fire as you guys have like they you know something is up, but don't know where it came from or how it started in there. Putting books together, and it's easy, old books too, that they're very flammable. So like, the fire catches very quickly. So as you guys are like sneaking out of there,
That's us.
that the castle seems relatively empty. Um, but as you're looking around, one thing catches your eye. It's like a hall of like portraits, dedicated to like the king, basically. Like you're like, oh, this is the son of this guy, who's the son of this guy. It looks like the current king is the seventh king of this place. But something weird as you're looking at it is, you're sleuthing around. You're not really like really staring at this, but every one of the pictures, the guy doesn't really look like he's changed at all.
Magic.
As you're like going, it looks like very male, like dominated, like dominant genes.
Is the
As you
vampire
run
the
out,
same person?
it looks very similar. And so you guys go. Roger's leading you basically directly to the throne room, um, and so, but that's the first like room you guys pass. As you guys are going, you're sleuthing. You hear the commotion of people like running around. You guys get to a door. Um, this door is a very tall, um, basically black marble. No, I know marble is typically white, but that same, it's not necessarily obsidian, but it's like a black shade of this like really heavy stone door. Um, and all of this place, like the lights itself are like dark in this place as you're walking around. It's like a red light, almost like as you guys have like been exploring the castle, and can't help but to like look forward but also like look around. um, there doesn't seem to be any light or windows or anything of that nature inside this place. um, now as you guys get to this door, this very heavy stone door, uh, Roger is stops at the door, and he is reluctant to like push it open, basically giving you guys one more chance to kind of bail if this is what you want, or press forward.
Um,
I'll tap on it again.
Where's
That
the
luck.
Doors unlocked.
what's the fucking blinky sword?
The
Are we
sword
any
is
closer to the?
blinking like crazy. Um, that the likelihood that whatever's inside this room, there's a very good chance that um, it is here or it's very close to this spot.
Well, on that
Send
note, I'm gonna
it.
pull out my real big sword. I'm gonna sheathe that one, pull out my moon sword.
Okay,
Um.
then you guys.
What?
I mean, at the very least, emboldening bond. But anybody got any other ideas before we go guns blazing into this
Oh my
room that's
gosh.
obviously a big boss battle?
Hell yeah. I'm ready. Send it.
Just going straight in there.
You want to
Not very
embolden
stealthy.
bond?
Yeah.
Well, you stealth through the tower. You know, you could have fought tons of people on the way into it, but
Um,
I guess that's true.
How long does Bless last?
Blessed is a phenomenal thing to put on before we get into a battle.
Yeah, but how long does it last?
Read it. It's a concentration spell,
says-
my guy.
Yeah, concentration up to 1 minute. So it only lasts a minute?
Right?
Okay, well, I'll just wait till Red is beast. But that'll be like my initiative. Why? Should I use it before? I don't know how it works. Metagame for a second. Do I use it before?
Most of the time you can. Because you think it's going to take us a minute for you to slash through this door and come out guns blazing?
I'll cut through it in a second. Alright, I'm gonna use Bless.
What's the worst that happens?
Exactly. Alright, I'll use 1 Bless. And it says up to 3 creatures of your choice within range. Do I bless myself? I'll bless
does it say including yourself, or does it say?
Bless yourself.
It says up to 3 creatures of your choice. It doesn't say can't.
Yeah.
May.
No,
Okay.
right. He meant including 3 plus you or 3 total.
Oh, it says up to 3 creatures of your choice, so I think just 3
Yeah.
total.
Yeah.
That's what it
Okay.
sounds like. So I do myself. I'll probably just do show and Tidoc's TBH. And then
Guess,
no.
Guess we're not blessed.
no, I can
You
only do 3.
Put
Sorry.
it on.
Should I do it the other 2? Does that
Bless
make more
MS.
sense?
Um,
Wait, our
what does
healer
Bless
probably needs
do
one.
exactly?
yeah, read it.
You do a
Whenever a-
+4, or like a D4, an extra D4.
Yeah, when you roll an attack or a saving throw before the spell ends.
You can probably give it to Nacho.
Not sure. Okay. So then I should probably do Jared and Raven. Does that make more sense?
Yeah.
Who has to actually like hit?
Hit.
Like mine's are
Make-
like plus like 9s and plus 7s, so I don't think I
It
really
shows-
need like.
Also shows grappling a lot of the time.
I always have a problem hitting shit, so I need to hit shit.
Yeah, you could definitely hit shit.
I need it for me for sure.
yeah.
Does it affect healing spells
I think it's just attack rolls.
and
Attack
saving
rolls.
rolls?
And saving throws.
And saving throws, yeah.
Alright,
I
so
think Raven is a good idea. You are a good idea. And you can pick either Tydox or Jared.
let's do Jared, because Jared's been getting a lot of combat lately.
Saving throws help too, because he's got magic. Okay.
Alright, that's my bless.
And emboldening bond. We're gonna use that on show and
Me.
my
Give me all the buffs.
maybe
I'm gonna do some big dig deeps, trust.
Trust.
Let's not just kill
Myself.
one of your teammates.
Right.
Exactly. That's why I need to hit everything.
And
Yeah. Anything else you guys want to do?
ability check.
Perhaps
will
get
give
me
it
out that
to
shield and I'm gonna put it on.
Ooh, which shield?
The shield.
The shield of the hidden lord or the dragon shield.
Well,
The relic
didn't we-
shield.
Well, the dragon shield is put on
yeah, the dragon
Yeah.
shield is part of
what
Tydox.
of FedEx now.
But the Mimir shield.
Yeah,
Shield of
give
the
it to me.
Okay, all right. You said that in character. Well, show. We do have a few other things if you think you can handle them. Because we took like a lot of Mimir's shit.
Mhm.
One of which being his skull. So if we're going in to make a show of force, you could also take Mimir's skull.
Is it a helmet though? I can't wear armor.
No. It's a skull. It's
Can't you use it as like just like an unarmed weapon or something?
I don't think you're gonna use it. I think you're just gonna say like, hey, like you know what we have. This is what we have. Because yeah, you can have the shield.
Give me
I
the
know
shield
nothing
and the
about the
skull,
shield.
and I got his ring already, so
You already have the ring.
we're
Yep.
just gonna go big,
Dope.
big dick in it.
Yeah.
You got the shield. You're walking with the shield and Mimir's skull.
Yeah.
So
As a way of like, well, we've
Because
done.
I don't
some
know
shit.
if
We've
he's
been
just
around the
gonna be
block.
like. I'm assuming we're gonna stealth him, but it's also like he might just be fucking right there, so it might be just be like, "Yo, what's up?"
Yeah.
You know.
so you guys are ready, okay?
As I'll ever be.
Roger opens the door, and
Bert's
immediately,
not gonna cut it.
Roger is like scared to even look up as he walks into the room, and he ushers you guys to do the same, to look down as you walk in. And so, but if you don't, that's okay. But he walks in, and you hear him say, my lord, I'm so sorry. And he walks in. Do you guys look down, or you guys keep it up?
Nah, show force. We're keeping it up.
Keep it up. Okay,
Ooh.
cool.
I don't. I think it might be
We'll look
split.
down.
All right. Tell me who's looking down and who's looking up.
I'm
No.
looking
Raise your
up.
hand if you're going up.
Up. Okay. Or if you're following Roger's lead. Hey, it's up to you guys. I'm not. No.
I think Tydox
What-
is
what would you
just
do
looking
in
at the
character?
back of show.
Okay.
So
Raven and Jared
Jared looks down.
down. Okay.
Jared looks up.
I'm
Raven,
curious.
you're up
I'll
or
look
down? Okay. So you guys look down. As you guys walk in, the first thing you notice, the ground itself, as you're looking down, is beautiful. Like, so to the black, it's very white and very like red. So the color theme is like white and black and red. Very like ominous. As you guys show in, or will you guys both roll me a dex saving throw as you guys walk in? And then nothing happens to the rest of you guys.
I got a 17 total.
Perfect.
Dex saving throw. 15 plus. Where's my dex at? 0, but I blessed myself. And is it a D4? I forget what bless was. A D4, yes. 17 total.
Okay. Now you get advantage on this roll because you guys both rolled high enough. A charisma saving throw.
Okay.
I got a 14 total.
17,
Okay.
23.
23. Show as you walk in.
did you used your emboldening bond with
no.
your? Okay.
What did I say? 14 plus
14. Yeah.
3, 17.
Does the emboldening bond work on saving throws, or is it just
Saving
ability
throws.
checks? Okay.
Nope. Attack roll, abilities check, saving throw.
Okay. Cool. Just want to double check. You got a 17.
Yes.
Okay. Both of you guys, as you guys walk into this room, you see two figures. I'll just describe the whole thing as you guys walk in. So the rest of you guys are seeing the ground. You guys are walking in. And as you guys walk in, you're immediately greeted upon two thrones. The first thing you notice, it's clear as day, is big silver wings that are over the throne. Over the throne. They're impossible to miss. It looks as if they're like almost on the back of the throne, as if like almost put there like as like a new design to kind of show off like these new dragon wings that he has, but that they take up most of the room. They're absolutely enormous, you know, and you see, so as I say, it's clear you see them pretty well. Um, you notice two figures that are like sitting on their thrones, a female and a male. The male looks exactly like all of the pictures that you saw as you were walking in. Very long silver hair. Um, and immediately upon looking at him, you guys feel your heart like pulse a little bit, as if whatever he tried to do to you tried to stop your heart immediately. Um, but it you seem to have been able to shake it off, and you're able to like kind of blink and close your eyes a little bit to not like fully take the brunt of whatever he was trying to do to you. Um, you notice next to him, just like like a bride in a veil that's over her head. She's in a very long, slender white dress. Um, it appears that, I mean, she's has like very elegant thing. She is a redhead, so she has red hair, um,
She must die.
and he has silver hair. Um, but as you guys look at them, the feeling of death, you know, and despair and darkness is all around you guys. Um, and the male figure with beautiful black boots adorned to him, you feel the sword pulsating unbelievably, that whatever it is, that he is wearing the boots that are the magic item that you're looking for. And that is where we'll end tonight's episode. As you guys get ready for an insane boss fight. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. We'll see you guys next time. See you
Moire.
guys.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone.